Hey, what's going on, people? We are about to get started. Right before we do, I want to make sure that you guys know that the link is already in the chat. I'm going to give everybody 3 minutes so that we can try to get as many people in as possible. I'm looking forward to tonight. We got a lot to talk about. Tonight was the first episode of the Tell All. It's going to get crazy, y'all. I don't know. I got some things to say, and we're going to get into it in a minute. But right after we watch the intro, and then we going right to it. You couldn't be with anyone. I couldn't be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around for
You couldn't be with anyone. I couldn't be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me.
What is going on, people? Here for another one, Sister Wives Extraordinaire. This was a crazy night. Crazy night. Now, I'm going to say right off the rip, I'm going to say it right off the top. We got to be honest about Suki, y'all. We got to be honest about Suki. We got to give this woman her flowers. Now, I've spent time after time, season after season, year after year, tell all after tell all, talking about how this woman needs to take advantage of the position she's in. Make sure she holds his fool accountable. Don't let folks get on the couch and just push you around. Suki, you got this. But I always acknowledged, no matter how frustrated I was with her, that she has to answer to the producers. I always acknowledge that she has to answer to the producers. This isn't the Suki show. This isn't something she can just go up there and do whatever she wants. Because if she do, she'll go to way Tamara Hall, Tamron Hall. And we talked about Tamron Hall. I put out 2 videos talking about Tamron and how she got asked to leave because she asked too hard of questions. Like you said during the course of the season, now you trying to sit here and talk about 1, 2, 3. Both things can't be true. Explain. Oh, that's too far. Like, so I get it. And I respect the fact that Suki had to play the game. But now we are under new management, folks. It's a new day at TLC. And Baldylocks, I was calling him, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term pushback. I gotta look that up. Hold on 1 second. I will put a picture of a pushback. You guys gonna see what I'm talking about. I was calling him Senor Pushback because that had you need to just let that shit go. Just let it go. When it comes to old Suki, she did the damn thing, y'all. I think we got to give Suki credit because she did the damn thing. She did what she was supposed to do. She understood the assignment. Puddle monkey jumper or whatever the hell it's called, puddle jumpers. They got a new person. They said, Suki, you do what you do, girl. And she said, you ain't said nothing but a thing. And she jumped on Kody's ass with both feet. Okay. Both feet. She was like, say hello to my Nikes. Say hello to my little friends. And I don't know about Suki. You know, maybe she got her husband's shoes on, but she was jumping on his back with size 13s. Okay. Them size 13 Converse. Them old stinky gym shoes that you wear on leg day when you're doing heavy squats. Okay. She was jumping on his back with them bad boys. That or cleats. Okay, maybe she was doing it with soccer cleats. I don't know, but she was all over my man. She didn't give him a break. And you can see in his face he was frustrated as hell because when she was asking him questions, these are things that weren't okay, weren't okayed. And I did have a notation for myself. What do you guys think the over and under is if you were placing a bet that right after these tell-alls was done, Kody and Robyn called the production team and was like, Suki's ass needs to be fired immediately. She needs to be out of this place immediately. She made me look terrible. Why does she still have a job? Right? But then it occurred to me, because I talk to myself sometimes when I'm watching this show to keep myself from cussing out loud and hooping and hollering. Somebody, Dania, I think she mentioned it earlier. You know, she appreciates the chat because we do, while the show is playing, we are on here. A lot of the folks come in early. Sometimes I jump in if I'm not pushing some other things around as far as like backstage or whatever. And we talk about it, and folks are saying things about it. And Tanya was saying, if it wasn't for this chat, I would be in here yelling at this damn TV. And my husband and my kids be trying to figure out what's going on in there. What, baby, somebody done broke in? What's going on? Just hold them down. I'm getting the hammer. Yeah, I'm coming up with the ratchet. Okay. Because you're there hollering and screaming. So sometimes I be talking to myself, and I say to myself, I say it's self. And myself say, what? I say it's self. I say what? I say it's self. And I say, what? Say, what do you think when Robyn got in the car when the show first started? She gets in the car with Kody. The nice Mercedes Benz, by the way, jackass. She gets into the car paid for by broken dreams and crushed hopes. He get into the the Kody kid crushing mobile. They get in that car and they ask, like, how do you feel about today's show? And she says, I don't know. I don't feel good about it. How much do you think went into Kody and Robyn making that phone call before the tell-all started? Because I'm sure they have an annual phone call with production. We're not talking about this. We're not talking about that. And if you ask us or even touch this subject matter, we're getting up and we're walking off, right? How much you want to bet that they put that phone call in? And the producers was like, yeah, okay. All right, okay, we don't talk about that. Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah, I do have a pen. I'm writing it down. Okay, go ahead. Okay. All right, yeah, I'm taking copious notes. And the whole time she's running off the list of stuff that she ain't gonna talk about. And then when she gets done, she's like, you got that? He's like, yeah, first up, let me tell you, sit down, grab your ankles, and kiss your entire ass, because we're not doing none of that stuff, okay? We're not doing none of that. I was going to say something way more crude, but we just going to leave it at that. We're not going to do none of that. And second thing, thanks for the notes, because we will be asking you all of those things. This is going to be the subject matter, at least the first episode. Your little demand list, okay? And that's why I think that's probably why she was pissed off and like, I don't really want to do this. I'd rather get a root canal. Like, I don't know. I was going to say something. See, they put me in a mood, and like my wife said, because I'm a Gemini, I got two sides. And she's like, sometimes, James, you could be a little rough. And see, I could feel that other side, like, watching this episode, I could feel that other side trying to creep in, trying to poke his head up, because I caught myself twice now. I'm gonna try to keep count. I caught myself twice. They put me through it, Jack. But let me put this up. I want to show you guys what I'll be talking about. Because as soon as I saw his head, I was like, oh, that's a pushback. My man got pushed back. You need to just go ahead and cut that shit. Like let it go, brother. Like the fight is like it was a good fight. You tried, but you lost. Okay, you lost. Let me see. I'm gonna just real quick. There we go. I'm gonna show you guys what I was talking about. Because this is what like when I see his hairstyle, this is kind of what it reminds me of. That's called a pushback. Like you see where his hairline is, and this shit up all the way back in the middle of his head. Like, so when I saw, you know what I mean, I was like, oh man, Kody got the pushback. They done pushed his ass way back and shit. Like you need a new barber. But then at the same time, like whoever you got working your hand, that motherfucker is working miracles. So you need to tip the shit out of them, because they are working miracles. Because my man is working up thick. He thin up top, bro. Like I know that they said it was bad before, but homeboy is thin. He got like 2 strands of hair just coming down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just let it go. I don't want to get too personal. Well, I guess fuck it. I'm already personal. Like I'm saying it like I don't want to break no dishes as I throw the dishes on the ground. Like I don't know. This dude is driving me crazy. And there's a couple points that I want to make before I open up the floor, because I know you guys. I see we got Sharon, Kitty, Brittany, not Brittany. We had a couple other people. Guys, call back. I'll get you in. But there's some points I just wanted to make real quick. The first thing was like Kody sitting there talking about he likes Robyn, and the first time they did the show, he loved the makeup. He said, "Oh, I licked the picture." I was like, "Ugh, ugh." Why do you guys do that? And what messes me up? You spend so much time talking about how everybody is so disgusted at the fact that you guys are together. It's not the fact that anybody is disgusted at y'all together. Everybody who watches this show knew that you were always infatuated with Robyn. You haven't fooled anybody. You're the only person who denied it. I don't know why you're putting that on the fan base and on the production team. You're the one that did that. You guys were the ones, oh, I don't love Robyn more than I love everybody else. That's bullshit. I don't know why you guys are saying that. That's ridiculous. Why would you say that about me? I take offense to that. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I think you got Tamron fired, is because she had the audacity to say that you like Robyn more than you liked anybody else, and that you were trying to spend time with her more than you were trying to spend time with anybody else. And you were so insulted that you got that woman fired. And now you want to sit there and pretend like you're the victim of victim card, Trump, whatever the hell he said. You did that to her, but now you want to play the victim. Come on, player. Come on, man. And the whole thing with like his crying and complaining, like I know everybody has a different perspective on this. And there's some things that I just don't like. Like I just don't like the way he's going about it. Because there's too many guys, like just as a man, like man to man, like I know too many dudes who are in relationships. Those relationships fall apart. And then even like with Robyn's little saying, it takes two people to make a relationship. It takes two people to break a relationship. Wrong, wrong. It don't take two people to break a relationship, you idiot. One person can break a relationship. If I'm with my wife and I decide in my little brain that I'm going to go out and try to pick up ladies, ladies at the club, ladies at the bar, ladies at the supermarket, ladies at the church, ladies walking the street in the middle of the night, and I'm asking them if they need a ride because it's a dangerous area. And I go out there and do that. I broke the relationship. One person broke the relationship. Two people didn't break it. Just because I did something wrong and she decides that she's not putting up with my bullshit. So she decides I'm sorry, tonight's going to be a French night. She decides that she's going to go ahead and leave. That's me breaking a relationship. I broke the relationship. My actions, it's my responsibility. Her response was to my action. If you're ignoring your wife, if you're mistreating your wife, if you're downplaying your partner, if you're humiliating your partner on a daily basis, and she decides that she doesn't want to tolerate that and be with you, she didn't break the relationship. You did. You did. And the fact that he says like, oh, accountability, I genuinely don't think he understands what that word actually means. I don't think he understands what it means. I think when he says it, what he means to say is they're not acknowledging that regardless of what I did, they didn't want to let me continue doing it to them. So they have to take accountability, responsibility for the relationship not continuing. But that's not accountability. Accountability is you take responsibility for your actions and you hold yourself accountable. If you did the right thing, you did the right thing. If you did the wrong thing, you did the wrong thing. And you account for what your actions were. That's accountability. Accountability for dum-dums. But when he did it, like I said, it's just a way for him to say, I'm not responsible. I'm taking responsibilities, but I'm not responsible. Like, get this shit. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? There was another thing he said. Like, I'm actually going to do a video. I decided I'm going to do a video on the whole, like, when they asked about what movies do you want to be in, and dude said, I'm Point Break. I was like, what? Because of the long hair? Because of the long hair? Really? That's what we doing? We talking about the long hair pushback? Like, what are you talking about? Because everybody got like the long flowing locks. Patrick Swayze. I don't know if you guys remember him, Dirty Dancing, Ghost, all that. He had like the long flowy hair, looked like a surfer. That's actually what those guys were. They were like all bank robbers who were basically robbing banks so that they can go out surfing. And Keanu Reeves grew his hair out and he was like the hot shot police detective. So who are you supposed to be? Are you Patrick Swayze or are you John Wick? Like who are you in this scenario? Or my favorite part was when he said that he's like the Batman in Dark Knight Rises. If you what did he say? Dark Knight Rises. If you don't die the hero, you'll live long enough to be the villain. And again, clearly you don't understand what that movie meant when he said that. When he said that line in the movie, they weren't doing things to be the villain or be the good guy. That's not what it was. He was doing the right thing. The whole purpose of him doing that was, I am going to be, because the whole quote is basically, I'm going to be what the city needs. If Gotham needs a hero, I'm going to be a hero. If Gotham needs me to be the villain, then I'll be the villain. I will take responsibility for something somebody else did so that Gotham can survive and move past it. Because if the golden child, like at the time, it was like a district attorney who was a good looking hot shot guy and he turned into a criminal. But they're like, if it comes out that he was actually a criminal and he was doing all this criminal stuff, it could shake the foundations of the city's jurisprudence and the city's criminal justice system. So as a result, I will sacrifice myself and be the villain that Gotham needs. And I will do what the city needs in order for the cities to survive and thrive. That's absolutely the opposite of what Kody did in his relationships with his wives. He didn't sacrifice himself so that his wives would look good. He didn't sacrifice himself so that those relationships could be strong. He didn't sacrifice himself so that his family could prosper. He continually put himself first. So therefore, you did things in a selfish manner. And like I said, the true earmark of any villain or hero in the storyline is basically the heroes and the villains pretty much have the same origin story. Both of them typically are orphans. Both of them typically suffered some kind of traumatic loss or whatever that changed their situation, that made them take into account their life. And the one big difference is that the hero looks at that when he experiences that traumatic situation, he says or she says to themselves, I'm going to make sure that nobody else endures this pain. And whereas the villain experiences that trauma and says, hurt people, and I'm going to hurt a bunch of people. I'm going to make sure everybody feels just as bad as I do. I'm not going to be the only one up here crying. And which one of those two examples do you think Kody fits best? And that's why you are the villain, sir. That's why you're the villain. It has nothing to do with the fact that people like you were on the show for too long and the show ran for so long, and that's why you became the villain. To be honest with you, I always I don't think I've ever really come out and said this definitively, but I'll do it tonight because I don't give a shit anymore. When push comes down to shove, I thought from the first time I heard about this show that you were the villain, sir. I just by watching, but by the feeling I got watching the situation, not because you were a polygamist, not just he has a bunch of wives, he has a huge family that he's probably not taking care of. No, I didn't make a judgment on that. It was how you were talking about them and how you were treating them, and this was before I started watching the show for real. Like I saw maybe an episode here, an episode there, but I always, from the first instinct of what I got from you was that you were a bad guy. That this whole thing was a lie, that you were not being honest, that you were taking advantage of the situation. And as it turns out, and this is why I say definitively, the reason why the show was so popular in season 16, 17, and 18, and now moving into season 19, is because people who had that first inkling, they were proven right. That's why the show is so popular in those later seasons. That's why it experienced a resurgence. It wasn't just because Christine left. It was because people were like, I knew this wasn't working. I knew he was jerky. And he just spent season after season proving to us who we thought he was from the beginning. There's a quote I'm gonna use in my motivational video tomorrow from the American poet DMX. And basically what he says is you trust them to be themselves and you trust you to see them for who they are. Basically, it's you trust them to be them, but you trust yourself that you will see them. Essentially, but I have the actual quote in the video. And when push comes down to shove, when I listen to them talk, I trust myself to see the people for who they are because I'm brutally honest with me in my relationship. So it gives me the ability to be brutally honest with other people and to see other people for who they are. I don't come into most relationships with any expectations. I just take you as you are. And when I was watching him, there's a lot of things that gave me the ick factor when I was like, this dude is taking advantage. This dude is not taking care of his family. He's not doing right by all his kids. He's not doing right by his wives. And he just proved it. That's why you're the villain. That's why you're the villain. It has nothing to do with you being on TV for too long. That's the story you tell yourself that you can sleep at night, jackass. That's why. That's the story you tell you. But that's not why people don't like you. Let's keep it straight. I'll hit one more point, and then we're going to start taking some phone calls after I do some super chats. Yeah, we could do the whole abandon thing. Well, I mean, it's just a bunch of stuff. Like, and to be honest with you, as I listen to Christine or even Christine, Mary Janelle, I think they had a really good showing. Robyn, she's still trying to play tight lip, the tight lip bandit, like she don't know nothing and she know everything at the same time. Nobody's buying that bullshit. So I wasn't really like she didn't like she there's Robyn, you ain't strong enough. How about that? You're not strong enough to sway the people's feelings towards Kody, and nor are you strong enough to sway people how people feel about you. It just is what it is. Sorry to tell you, sorry, not sorry. Like, in order for you to actually be a force or something to be reckoned with, you actually have to have a position and stand 10 toes on it. Like, you can't be wishy-washy. I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to talk about it. Then you want to try to say little slick shit. Well, you can put that little slick shit in your pocket and tell that story while you're walking. How about that? You understand what I mean? Because if you don't want to stand up and tell the truth, then it is what it is. I'm also a little annoyed, to be honest with you, when I came in. That's why I was like, I'm gonna come in hot, because I thought I was a little more pissed off when I first wrote that. When Push Him Down to Shove, I didn't like how Kody was trying to dismiss what Suki was saying. I didn't like how he was doing it. Like, you're supposed to be this master debater, this great thinker, this philosophical type person, this manly man, but yet and still you can't encounter or face any minor disagreements without crumbling. Like, dude crumbles like an old ass cookie. Like, he's weak. It's just weakness. And I challenge you. Look, I know I ain't a big YouTuber. I know I ain't a force to be reckoned with as far as a sister wife fandom is concerned. But if you ever want to bring your ass on the show and you want to talk about it, we don't even have to talk about your life. We could talk about some of this manosphere crap, and we can have a straight up debate. Straight up debate. Straight up. Because the way you talk about things, the way you address things, you try to do these long ass drawn out stories and stuff that have no relevance to what you're actually talking about. When she sat up there and talked to you about how you were treating your wives, and you try to go into, I'm tired of everybody talking to him. I'm sitting up here loving, favoring Robyn because that's what I was doing. I'm tired of being embarrassed. I'm ready to shoot him the 2 birds. Well, bitch, I'm ready to shoot you 2 birds back. How about that? And we just be 2 birds slinging mugs. How about that? Because what's not going to happen is you can't sit there and pretend like you want to have an actual conversation, but then you don't like the question. If you don't like the questions, you don't like to talk about the clips, you don't want to talk about shit that you filmed, get off the show. Stop shooting the show. Nobody's begging you to do it. You don't have to do it. But what's not going to happen is, and this is the point of frustration that I have, what's not going to happen is you can't keep sitting here trying to take advantage of people in their time by saying that you somehow deserve to keep getting checks. Nobody deserves to get a check for free. If you don't want to watch clips, you shoot a show, a reality show, and you say that you don't want to go back and watch the clips because the shit too painful, then you need to stop doing the show. This is the equivalent of me saying that I want to be a fireman. Guys, my whole life, I wanted to be a fireman. That's my biggest dream. The only thing is, I don't want to go into houses that's on fire. And I don't like handling water hoses. That's the job. Watching the clips, shooting the show, giving your advice or your opinion on things that happen on the show is your job. That's the job. That's the show. That's what the show's about. What do you mean you don't want to watch the damn clips? Then why are you on the show? I don't really have an opinion. Then why are you here? This is called a tell-all, not to show up and take pictures. What, you thought you were showing up to a photo shoot, jackass? These are video cameras. They shoot motion picture. These ain't still shots. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you people? Like, you just think you're gonna get a check for nothing? Well, I just been getting a check. I've been getting this check for 19 seasons. I just think that I should just keep getting a check for nothing. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. I don't know. I'm sorry. That part just kind of got me too. That got me too. I can't. I don't like shooting these. I don't like looking at clips. What are you doing? What did you think we were doing here today? What did you think this was? You think I was just going to sit here and ask you about Christine the whole time? Because that's really what it is. That's really what it is. Her and Kody have become so accustomed to showing up to the tell-alls and doing nothing but sitting around talking about the other wives. They don't, I refuse to answer any questions about my relationship with Kody or my relationship with Robyn. I refuse to talk about anything that happens at our house. I refuse to talk about our relationship. And the only thing I want to answer is that I think Mary's a loser, that Christine ought to come back home, and that Janelle stole all the money. And when I say these things and I make these accusations, not only do I want to make the accusations, but I don't want to be questioned. I don't want you to be able to ask me anything about it. So I just want to be able to say what I want to say, and you don't follow up with a question like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, they already did a preview about Robyn, talking about how the campus stuff. Oh yeah, they said that you was like worried about getting your makeup on. Yeah, that's a lie. Do you realize that there were people standing there with those things? The video, remember I told you about the video cameras before? Those people, those funny looking things that was on their shoulders, those are called video cameras. They taped you doing it. Maybe this is another example of why you need to start watching the damn clips. Because you don't realize that they aired that shit. I understand that there's a lot of footage that they shot and stuff that they have on tape that never made it to the air, that we never saw. Maybe you need to go back. I know a bunch of creators. I might wind up doing it. Who knows? Like during the off season, they go back and start watching previous seasons. Maybe you should start watching some of the content creators, or you just go ahead, get a subscription to one of the subscription services and start watching old episodes of Sister Wives, so that way you have at least a basic understanding that before you sit on the couch and tell a whopper of a freaking lie, that you're telling a damn lie. And I do like the low-key shade that Mary threw, saying that, well, I don't really have to be nervous because it's not like I have to remember a whole lot, because it's like telling the truth. If you know what the truth is, you only got one story to tell. You just go up there and tell your one story. Of course, Kody, he came back and said, well, it's like I have 5 versions of the truth. And then I basically go through all those versions of the truth. And I pick out whichever truthist that I like is the most at the time. That's the dumbest. You know who says that? Who says that they have 5 versions of the truth and they pick out the ones they like the most? Liars. That's who the fuck says that. That's who says that all the time. Oh, I have 5 different versions of the truth. That's called lying. That's what that is. There's one damn version of the truth. It's what happened. Okay? There's what happened and what didn't happen. And if you look at yourself and say, well, what happened is what I wish happened. I wish this had happened. And I won't say that that's what happened. Then that's not the truth. And you are what the French call a damn liar. Okay? And that's the part of this whole thing where I think people get frustrated about Kody and Robyn being on the show. Because one, you guys come out and pretend like you don't want to talk about nothing. I ain't got nothing to say about that. And I don't keep that to myself. Okay, fine. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. You know what? 50 Cent, the great American poet 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. He had a thing. He said that like, you know, I hate when people come out, musicians come out and say, yeah, I made this record for myself. He said, you know what? You make every record for your fans and for your audience. And if you make a record for yourself, you need to make that shit and play it at your house and dance to that shit in your living room. If you make a record for you, then you need to play that in your house. And that's kind of how I feel about these two. If you don't want to be on the show, are you tired of people talking shit about you? Boss, if you want to come off the show, I'll stop talking about you. I promise you, I'll stop talking about you. I will stop talking about you. But you can't come on here, and what frustrates people is you come on and you tell these stories, you tell these like fantastic truths, and then you're mad because people like, no, that's not what we saw. How dare you accuse me of being dishonest? That's my truth. Like, look, I'm all about the new hippy dippy bullshit. Like, you know, you gotta speak your truth and all that. I understand that on some levels. But at the same time, the old school in me say, look, there's the truth and there's bullshit. Okay? There's the truth, there's what happened, and there's what didn't happen. You know what I mean? I could do an example. I'm tempted to do an example, but I'm not going to because it'll get me demonetized like a motherfucker. But there is an example I can think of that just popped in my head. You know, you don't get to come out and say that something is your truth. Oh, she said no. In my truth, no. It is what it is. Oh, she yeah. In Mary and her truth, maybe I wasn't there. In my truth, I was always present. Either you were there or you weren't. One of you is mistaken. Okay. The one thing you can say, what you're mistaking for truth is actually perspective. You can say, in my perspective, I was there a lot. But then a lot is all relative. So a lot for Mary's house might be once every 2 weeks. But a lot for Robyn might be like you being over our house every day isn't enough. It's all relative. So from that respect, perspective does play a part. But if you're saying that you were over Mary's house, and the last thing I'm going to say, then I'm going to get into this stuff. I promise you. He said, because he was trying to, I'm going to be nice and not talk about the catfish stuff. Fuck you. Okay? You talked about it. Don't talk about it and pretend like you're not talking about it and everybody know what you're talking about. Either you're going to talk about it or you don't going to talk about it. Either you're going to throw Mary under the bus or you're not going to throw her under the bus. So don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Okay? That was annoying. So, but he said like I'm gonna just say from my experience, because I've been with like my wife, she a real one. Okay, my wife is a real one. And every woman I've ever dated has been a real one. So this is my experience. Okay, this is my experience. Every woman I've ever known or dated on any intimate level, or even been friends with, real ones. And I can tell you right now, if my ass was sitting up in the middle of the night, they laid up in the bed, they laid up in the cut in the bed, and I'm sitting downstairs, upstairs, outside, in the bathroom, on the toilet, wherever, in the shower, sitting in the tub, curled up with the phone, giggling my ass off. Oh no, ain't nobody laying in the bed for that. That look. If I'm in the shower, she gonna come in and turn the water on my ass. What you laughing about? Ain't nowhere in the world. Ain't nobody sit up there listening to you giggling on the phone 4 o'clock in the morning. Laid up in the bed. Shit. I'll call bull crap on that. There's no way you sat up there and she in there just okay. All right. Well, how big is it? Like, ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. You liar. I'm gonna look you down the barrel of the camera. You a damn lie for that one, Kody. There's no way you sat up in the bed, listen to her sit up. Ain't no way. That's total disrespect. That's total disrespect. I'm not saying I'm gonna get up and do nothing crazy. My wife was sitting up there giggling and shit. I'm not gonna do nothing crazy. I'll get up and go sit in that room with it or just be staring. Who we talking to? What's so funny? I like laughing. Shit, I want to let me in on the joke. I like laughing. Why can't I laugh? This shit must be funny as hell because you have been giggling for the last 45 minutes. I'm up there trying to go to sleep. You woke me up out of my sleep laughing so hard. I want to laugh too. You was laughing so loud, I was dreaming about you laughing. How about that? I thought we was at the comedy club. I like laughing. Who don't like jokes? Tell me a joke. Okay? Ain't no way in the world Kody sat up there and let her just giggle by herself. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. If you did that shit, you a punk. Straight up. You a bitch ass dude. I won't say nothing. And we definitely would. If I don't get up out of bed, we definitely talking about it. So who was you talking to last? Who the hell calls at 3 a.m? And it's so interesting. Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm a grown ass man. I've been a grown ass man for a long time, Doc. And if you call my house at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, somebody better be on fire, dead, on the hospital, on their way to the hospital. People better be, look, it better be going down. You better be calling me up, James, they on their way. Okay, you calling me up, give me the 411. James, get the ratchets and the tool belt. Time to strap on the tool belt, because apparently I'm about to get some 3, 4 o'clock in the morning guests. I'm gonna have to lay out some dinner reservations because ain't no way. You 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Who the hell you talking to? What? Are you crazy? I'm not. There's no way in the world that is not real. I'm gonna just go ahead and call it. Very rarely do I just be like, that's bullshit. But I'm gonna go and call. I'm gonna throw the BS card on that one. That sounds. I mean, it sounds extraordinary. It does sound extraordinary. That does. The little ass violin, smallest violin in the world playing. That does sound like a pity party story. Oh, she was up there calling him and giggling and shit, and she kicked me out. And you gonna, dude, that's another thing. Then you go, she up there giggling her ass off. Giggling her ass off. Then she gonna come up there and kick you out of bed and out the house? Oh no. Oh man. Yo, you out the family at that point. We broke up. Like, there's no way in the world. Look, if you kick me out, I'ma leave. All right. Might take some pictures off the wall though on my way out, but I'ma leave. But we ain't not together no more. In the whole, like, we gonna move to Arizona, maybe we can rekindle a relationship. If she disrespected you like that, then there's no way in the world. You should have told her to stay her ass in Vegas. I'm gonna be pointing up. I'm gonna put it where it is. If she woke you up giggling with some other dude, then she kicked you out the bed and out the house that night, that relationship is over. That relationship is over. I'm sorry. Okay? You don't get to do me like that. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Oh, man. Cody. This dude, boy. This dude. I couldn't, man. I was there giggling. What the? Is she laughing? Or is she crying? Because that's what I would be thinking. Like, that would be the first response, right? Like, yeah, is she laughing or is she crying? What's going on? I mean, maybe it's bad news and she just don't want to wake me up. Something happened and she don't want to bother me yet with it. So I'm gonna just go up there and check, see what's going on. Like that's what my mind would be. Because like I said, I got real ones. They if it was like that, they smarter than and they was sitting on the phone with dude while I'm in the house. That's disrespect. Can we say that too? That's disrespectful as hell too. At least have some decency to cheat on me behind my back. you know, we don't be sitting there talking like, oh, that's my boyfriend. You get up and take the call. What? What are we doing? That's disrespectful. I mean, cheating is disrespectful. But damn it, if you don't have some respect for me and do it at least behind my back, like you afraid that I'm gonna leave. Like that was if she did that, that would be your first indication that you don't either one, let's keep it above. The one, you don't live there no more. Okay. Because two, that's her house. That's her house, and you don't live there no more. If she did that shit for real, you don't live there no more, and that's her house. And she's letting you know that you a guest. And if you don't like it, kick rocks. Hit the bricks and kick rocks. Because I'm taking this phone call. Like, you guys are already broke up. I'm just saying. Yeah, Brittany, not Brittany, the vulgarity. Yeah, right? I'm telling you. You better respect me and cheat on me behind my back. Don't you be cheating on me in front of my face. And because that's like, it's disrespectful as shit because it's like you expect me to sit here and watch you do it. What, you didn't think I was going to leave? What? You know what I mean? I have to step back, take a look in the mirror and make sure I am who I think I am. Maybe I'm another person. Maybe I'm another dude. You know what I mean? Because I think I'm the type of dude that if you was cheating on me in the middle of the night up, you got your ass out of bed with me. You lay, because we go to bed together. You get up out of your sleep and out of our bed to go talk to some other dude on the phone and giggle your ass out for 45 damn minutes in the next room where you know that if you heard her giggling, my dude, let's play it all the way out. You know all the doors was open. You know all the doors was open. Same right there tell me that she don't give a shit. If that's really what happened, that tell me right there that she just trying to give you hints. If she did that for real, she giving you hints, playboy. She letting you know without letting you know. Tell me that you with another dude and not tell me you with another dude. That's what that is. Okay? You come there, baby. Who you talking to? Excuse me, John. Look, I don't have time to answer your questions, okay? Could you close the door? I'm busy. Yeah, that sounds stupid. Like, it's a shit. You don't respect me. I got to go. You know what I mean? I'd have to pick my heart up off the floor, pick my face up, put it back on, and walk out. Ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world. But I'm gonna go through these super chats and we're gonna get to these phone calls, guys. Thank you so much for being patient. I just couldn't, man. That one thing, when he said that, I was like, what? What? No man in the world. I know I'm not doing that. And I know damn well. And see, here's the thing. When you whip somebody long enough, I know my wife ain't putting up with that shit. Okay. Like I don't think I've ever got up and answered the phone. But I know that, like, if you consistently get up and answer the phone and every time your phone ring, you got to get up and leave the room and shit, or you got to, like you hear the text message thing, bing, 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 sound like a pinball machine, bing, 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 and they got to sit there and and they texting and shit. Who you texting? Nobody. Well, shit, it's somebody, because every time I look over at you, you got your head in that phone and you smiling your ass off like you just hit the lottery and you sitting on damn, a vibrating chair or something. What is going on? No, we're not doing that. What's going on? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's a Utah thing. Like, I'm making a lot of these calls. These are calls from my experience. my experience, like I said, my phone, I don't even have a passcode on my phone. My wife go on my phone. When I did have passcodes on my phones, my wife had my passcodes. I got hers. I don't check them. She don't check mine, I don't think. But I don't waste my time checking them. But there's no way in the world. Like if her phone go ding, 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 I'm checking that shit. Who is texting that? Especially you sitting there giggling. I like laughing. We gonna go through this phone. We scrolling all this. We checking Facebook, Instagram, text messages, Snapchat, who's app, WhatsApp, this ain't it app, all the apps. We checking all the apps. You're gonna call me the appetizer, okay? Because I'm gonna be checking all the damn apps at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner, right before the meal. You be calling me the appetizer. I'll be checking all the apps. Straight up. I'm gonna do all the apps. Shit. Ain't no way in the world. You out your mind, bro. He said it with a straight ass serious face too. She was up there on the phone. She was talking to people on the phone all night. Are you crazy? I don't know. Get yourself together, bro, player. And this is what I be talking about. This how you know the two of them, Robyn and Kody, y'all ain't got no real friends. Y'all don't have real friends. See, if you had a real damn friend, you would have told that bullshit story to a real friend, and a real friend would look at you. Come on, man. That don't even make no sense. A real friend will tell you, man, you need to put that bitch in a workshop. That need to go back up on the lift, and you're gonna have to pop the hood on that. Because that story is weak as hell. It still needs some work. You're gonna have to get under there to start turning some wrenches on that mug. Because that story don't make no damn sense. That makes no sense. 0 sense. Listening on, oh, I'm sorry. I went crazy on that whole thing. But that blew my mind. Because I know that shit. Maybe I'm living that fantasy. I'm like, is this how the other half lives? Is this what other people do? You can go upstairs with your partner laying in the bed and just sit on the phone, giggling your ass off, laughing and shit, peeing yourself the whole time. You're so stupid and all that. And nobody get out of bed. Oh, we getting out of bed. We up now. We up now. I'm downstairs making a pot of coffee because we gonna be talking. We up now. I'm wide awake. I'm wide awake. We are gonna be talking. We gonna talk about this. Who you talking to? How long y'all been talking? That because you know the difference, and that's the thing too. We grown, y'all. We grown, and we know the difference. Okay, because your significant other getting one phone call, the way they talk, the way they respond, the way they act, it's just the general feel you have when they're responding to the phone call, the fact that they got a phone call, how they react when they get that text message or that IM or PM or whatever the hell, that private message or whatever. You can tell the difference. You know the difference. Like we grown folk here. This is a grown folk show. We all know that you know the difference. Like if it's somebody from work and they hit them up and maybe something funny happened at work, you know the difference between a coworker telling you a funny story and some dude named Long John Silver hitting your lady up, cracking jokes. And she, like that shit, you know the difference. You know the damn difference. You out there with some dude named Dudley. Oh, hell no. Hell no. What's going on? You know the difference. Some guy sitting up there sniggling and giggling with some woman. One co-worker call him. He laughed. Ha, 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 ha. Another co-worker call him. That little bullshit? No. Well, who was that? You know the difference. You ain't going to tell me. Like, no. No, we ain't doing that. Ain't no way. All right, we got some super chats. I'm sorry. I went crazy on that. I apologize. I lost my shit. I'm putting myself back together. I'm gonna pat my brow real quick. Have me up here preaching. That's how the preachers do it, ain't it? Read from 2 Corinthians. Read. She will be upstairs talking on the phone. Stop right there. She upstairs in the bathtub, talking on the phone, giggling to herself, thinking about the cheating, sleeping, sliding, slipping, and dipping that she gonna be doing with dude later. Thinking about how good was that? How good was that? How good she gonna feel when she get what she want. We know that this don't make no damn sense. Because grown folks getting the hell up out of bed. I ain't never that tired. I ain't never that tired. I don't care if I work uh, double, triple, quadruple shift at the mines. I'm out there turning big rocks into little itty bitty tiny rocks all day with a sledgehammer. I am not that tired. I'm getting my ass up. Ain't gonna mess up my happy home. Out your mind, boy. I don't know. That tripped me out. All right, we got we got inhalation aerosols, $4.99. Suki should have slapped that man silly. I love how Mary basically said love making with Kody is forgettable. One pump chomp. Damn. She did got see that's where it get dangerous. Like he trying to both him and Robyn trying to get this like Renaissance love affair, making themselves the sex symbols. Like he licking the pictures and she like, oh, he riding the horse. Oh, he be riding that horse. Right? Which is kind of weird for, yeah, that's weird. Pause. But but they trying to do that whole thing. But when you put yourself out there as a man, and this is just me. This is something I learned when I was a very young man, even when you kissing girls or whatever, right? Much less anything more intimate than that. You don't, rule number one, you don't go around telling everybody what it is you doing with who you doing it with. That's nobody damn business. So if you did go home with Mary and knock them bottoms after you connived and tricked and fooled her into signing some divorce papers, and you gave her I'm about to do it, right? You went home and dropped it on her. You don't come back and tell nobody. Because all he did was open himself up, like inhalation aerosol said. All he did was open himself up for her to be able to come back and say, yeah, well, you know. Did you do it, Mary? Did you let him come over and see the sugar walls? I don't remember because it was forgettable. Like, I don't know. It was 10 years ago. I mean, there was a lot of major stuff happening. Would have been like, you know, kind of a cornerstone moment for you guys to actually hook up after something as traumatic as signing divorce papers. One would think that maybe you might not remember every time you slept with somebody, but you will remember that time. Yeah, about that. Did I tell you that he was my first? Which also puts me, and I'm sorry, this is gonna go left fast. I apologize, but that puts me in mind of like the dudes like what they call the locker room talk. Man, I was in there, boy. I was in there working that thing like a part-time job, boy. I'm in there tearing it up, right? And you talk to her, and she be like, dude, I'm telling you, I rocked her world, man. She ain't gonna never forget me, player. And you ask her, and she be like, who is that? Who? Oh, him? Yeah. That was a waste of 5 minutes. And 3 of them was me taking my clothes off, and 1 of them was me putting my clothes back on. So yeah, I'm sorry. This just went crazy. I know it got vulgar fast, but it's just one of them nights. I apologize, but we gonna rock. Keep it rocking. Thank you so much, Inhalation Aerosol. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Let me get a little something. Oh man. Brady $4.99 super chat. I love the cuts between the wives calmly answering questions and Kody screaming. Yeah, dude was in there losing his shit because he was not prepared. And I will say that's an excellent point, Brittany. that you can tell the marketable difference between Kody and previous tell-alls where he thought he had all the power and he definitely had his hand up the damn producer's ass like a puppet. You can tell the difference because now he is spiraling. I even wrote my notes. I was like, Cody's coming off like he's manic. Like he can't control himself. Dude's just there spitting. Like, you don't understand. These are all crazy. It's not me. It's not me. Like, and like most people who are a little unstable, like it just the more he protests and say that it's not him and everybody else in the world is crazy but him, the more crazy he looks. Like he's at that point. Like he looked totally insane. You know what I mean? And the other ladies, the OG3, even Robyn to a point, composed. Like the OG3 really composed. Robyn, she just trying not to let a bone fly up out of her mouth because she got too many skeletons in the closet. But yeah, okay. Yeah, but that's just one of them things, man. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. They were very composed. Like the ladies were very composed. So it was almost like they was practicing. They was like, yes, by the way. And then when they were like, oh, Kody said this, which is that's also a signal. But if there are any guys out there listening, player, the ladies know. They know because it is them. I'm telling you, my experience, fellas, when a woman acts like that, that's how you know they done. When they done, that's how they act. They just like that shit. When you be sitting there, man, you don't understand what's going on, man. It just drive me crazy, right? And they be talking about the same subject. They be like, yeah, well, it is. We had some good times and things didn't work out like we planned, and I just got over it. Some things happen, like the seasons change. You got to move on, got to grow, get better. That's how life works. And you sit there and the calmer she get, the madder you get. I can't believe it. We was in love with each other. You love me. You couldn't live without me. And the fact that, especially somebody in Kody's position, where he has a very high opinion of himself, he can't stand the fact that these women are over his ass. Because that's what you see. Like, that's what I see. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm talking out my ass. But what I see is these women are done. Like, anytime like I've been with a woman or known a woman who had a breakup with their husband or their boyfriend, and you go back and talk to them, at first they might be like, more radical or emotional or whatever. But when they get to the point where they're like even tone, they super calm, and nothing you say or talk about in that situation rattles them. Janelle, she got asked questions. She was just like, okay, we can look at the clip. Mary, would you like to look at the clip? Okay, we'll look at the clip. Christine, look at the clip. Oh yeah, we're gonna look at the clip. And I'm like, I got shit to say, so go ahead, play it. Like that stuff. Oh baby, they done. I know they was already done, but I think this is like really Kody's first time dealing with all three wives when all three wives were done, because previously he had at least Mary. She was trying to come back and she wasn't sure what she was doing and whether she was going to be accepted back or not. Janelle, he was trying to get her back, so he was kind of hoping against hope that he would be able to get her back, even though I think even the last one she was done, but there was still hope for him. Now I think it's really set on him that he was like, I'm coming in and all of them, wives out, knives out. They coming for my back, Jack. They coming for my throat. So I think he was very scared. But thank you so much, Brittany, not Brittany. All right. Then we have get a couple more, then we'll go to some phone calls. YouTube is my time machine. $5 super chat. What is this new narrative about raising up all the relationships to where he and Robyn are right? That's just called disrespect. Because my impression that he was in 4 independent relationships and each relationship was different, and he valued each of the women for their own personal values, which is why he loved each woman differently. And even though he didn't love each woman the same, he loved each woman. That's what he was telling us before. Now he's like, oh yeah, I was trying to get them to step it up so they would be more like Robyn. So now Robyn's the ideal, she's the standard, and even by my understanding, that can't exist in these types of relationships, because you can't have a standard bearer for the other wives because it's automatically going to set the wives against one another. So that's dumb as hell. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, and whether it's part of their culture or not, I don't know. But I do know that if you put people against one another, especially in this kind of close quarter, it's never going to go good for you. It's never going to go good for you. So again, I think that a lot of the what the ladies were saying as far as Kody being a failure, he took it as because the relationships fell apart. Robyn tried to paint it as the relationships fell apart because they weren't able to work it out. But I think that ultimately it's a failure of his because of the mismanagement of those relationships. That's where they're hinging the failure at. And that's why I say I'm willing to have this discussion with them. All right. Thank you. YouTube is my time machine. YouTube is my time machine. Then we have inhalation aerosols. Get laid for marriage. Don't not see the chat. Hashtag get laid for marriage. Like, don't sweat it, just because Mary don't talk about it, don't play it short, because girlfriend might be out there doing her thing. You know what I mean? You never know. You never know. It's always them quiet ones, them quiet stormers. Or they say still waters run deep, player. All right, we have Steve Frog, 499 super chat. Kody and Robyn must have been told sit, stay, not allowed to leave. So sulky, much pouting. Yeah, so sulky and so much pouting. Yeah, I think they did tell him that. If you get your ass up off that couch, when you go to make your next Mercedes-Benz payment, that check gonna bounce like a ball, Jack. It's gonna bounce like a Super Bowl. So no matter what happens, you better not get your ass up, because you are not that frustrated. Because I do think that was a point. That's an excellent point, because there were a few times where Kody threatened to leave. He did threaten to leave in previous episodes. If especially and the questioning was way less confrontational than it is in tonight's episode. It was way less. Kody, I would like to ask you about your relationship with Christine. Yeah, whatever. If you ask that question, I'm out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Now it was like, Kody, that's a lie. I tell you, if Kody was a goose, that dude be laying eggs the whole night, boy. You'd have scrambled eggs all in that chair, because he would have been shitting eggs and shifting his butt around in that seat so much he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle the real question. And that's one of the things too. That's one of the weaknesses of his like all the time that he's been on TV, because he has been in a situation where he hasn't had to answer any questions. I think that it made him tremendously weak. It made him overconfident in his skill set and his ability to charm and talk his way out of things. And so therefore, I think it made him tremendously weak when it comes to him actually being able to conduct or deal with an actual interview where they're actually asking pointed questions that are directed to what you thought, what you did, et cetera, et cetera. And they're holding you to account to even the things that you say on the couch, because he goes one way on the couch and then he goes another way on the couch. And prior tell-alls, Suki would never say, well, you just said this thing that went right, and then you turn around and said this thing that went left, and that doesn't make any sense. That's contradictory to each other. You just contradicted yourself. They never did that to him before. They're doing it now, and I'm loving it. Like, this is like, I don't know if that's McDonald's or Burger King or whoever, but whatever it is, I'm loving it, baby. And we have Ty, member for 2 months. Okay, Ty. Please, in French, Dave, tell all the warrants it. This tell all warrants. Yeah, man. I'm thinking, man. I'm trying to be cool, Ty. I'm trying my best. You know what I mean? Back in the day, they'd be like, we're gonna wash your mouth out with soap. I'd be like, you better get the whole bar. Get that case over there, because we going in tonight. I'm trying to keep it cool, because I know some folks don't like it. So I'm trying to be respectful. But there's some things that are just stupid. We'll see how this goes. It's not over yet. But thank you so much, Ty. Do a couple more, and then we're gonna jump into the phone calls. We have Steve Frog 99, 499 super chat. Shopping. I never heard that before. Shopping, calling Crowbar shopping. Shopping, refusing to either watch clips or make a declarative sentence. Boo. 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 Boo you. Yeah, she was not participating. And that's the thing, too. That look, either participate or don't. You know what I mean? If you don't want to participate, don't show up. And if you don't show up, you don't get paid. That's how you do that. I mean, I know it's like that. They have the the drawings and trappings of reality TV, but that is one of the things with reality TV. I got you under contract, so I will basically wait you out of existence and I won't pay you. Like that's the beauty of those contracts. Like I don't have to put you in a certain number of episodes unless it's specifically prescribed in the contracts that they sign. I don't know. But I'm, even if we don't, you don't have to get renewed. But thank you so much, Steve. Uh-oh. That's my shoe. $5 super chat, James. Here's $5 to buy a deep breath so you can keep punching it hard. Thank you so much. That's my shoe. Man, they gonna kill my ass. Sooner or later, they gonna get me. Then Kody he'll be there trying to dig my grave. I'm going, like James came to me last night and said in my dream, don't make fun of Kody no more. He's a good guy. That's what he said, y'all. We should all listen to him. And I'm gonna come back from the dead up out the ground and grab his ass. Oh man. But thank you so much. That's my shit. And Brittany not Brittany down that super chat. The vulgarity, right? I think that we were talking about like them telling the truth or earlier on. I saw that pop in. But thank you so much. Then we got Raiders Ma membership for 2 months. Is it just me or Kody's comments on self-respect regarding the wives, especially Christine, are a new low for him? Yeah, it was disrespectful. That whole thing, like his whole part tonight was disrespectful as hell. And like I said, this is him being a villain, not because we're casting him as a villain or somebody has to be a villain on a reality show. He's making himself a victim by the very words that are coming out of his mouth. These are things that you chose to say. I can't decide to be a bad person, go out and do bad things, and then be upset that people look at me and say, hey, you're a bad guy. That's what the okay, look. All right. I know they like accountability, responsibility, but there's another word that I like. It's called consequences. It's called consequences. There are consequences to your actions. There are consequences to the things you say. We have freedom of speech in this country. You can say whatever you want to say, however you want to say it to whoever you want to say it to. But don't confuse that with you get to say it and be consequence free. You have freedom of speech, not freedom from consequences. You have freedom of action, but you don't have freedom from consequences. If you say or do the wrong thing, you might catch these hands out there in them streets. Okay? That's just how it works. That's how it works. You might lose your wife. You go there and you go, look, if you're a married man and you out talking shit about your wife, even at a Christmas party, you bring her to the Christmas party and you want to sit there and joke about how her body ain't the same as it was back when you first started dating and how she was so much more fun before you started having kids and how the secretary is even more fun and she's so much prettier than your wife and all that. Then first of all, it's going to be a long ass ride home in the car. If she don't take it, you better make sure she don't have car keys. Because you might go out there and be a grease spot. Where the hell's the car at? I ain't seen Betty in a little while. And now the car go? I mean, Uber. But if you guys do ride home, it's going to be a long ass car ride home. First up. Second up, you're going to have to deal with everything you said. It was the alcohol talking. I don't care. I'm not arguing with the alcohol. I'm arguing with your ass. Okay. You have freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom from consequences. You don't get to embarrass, humiliate, and abandon your wives and then turn around and act surprised that they have feelings about it and they want to talk about it. And more to the point that they don't want to be with you anymore. So like, I think that that's all part of him trying to, I'm the villain only because they misunderstand me and I've been on TV for too long and they just need somebody to blame. No, you're the villain because of things that you say, like Christina, like Raiders Mom pointed out, because of that kind of thing. That's a perfect example as to why you're the villain, dumbass. That's it. That's it. And I know if Hunter was sitting here, this is probably what he would say to me.
Settle down, Johnny Appleseed.
I'm going to try, Hunter. I'm going to try. But thank you so much, Raider Mom. All right, and then one more. We have Unlimited Lipstick Janet, $6.99 Super Chat. Kody looking at an imaginary pic of Robyn was with makeup 20 years ago. Stop trying to make us like Robyn. Make us liking Robyn happen. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Yeah, you look at it, especially, bro. You turning your wife into a sexual object is not the equivalent, is not the road for us to start liking your wife. You sexualizing your wife is not a way for us to like your wife. If I was with a bunch of friends, some of my male friends, and they started talking about sexualizing their wives in front of me, I'm not looking at it like, wow, he really respects his lady. That's incredible. They're really in love. I'd be like, he's disrespecting the hell out of her. And I'm uncomfortable. Like don't sexualize your wife like that. Especially, here's my thing. Especially if you want to play the game where you want to sexualize your wife, but then the second somebody, YouTuber, whoever, gets on and they start talking about your wife's sexuality, then all of a sudden we pushing boundaries and we going too far. If you drag the conversation down into the gutter, don't be mad when you meet other people there. Okay? That's where you brought it. So you want to talk about your wife looks so sexy that you wanted to lick her and she tastes so good and all that kind of stuff. You're opening her up for all kinds of criticism and commentary. Not saying that I wasn't saying wild shit before, but I'm saying it could get like, bro, I'm just saying that because it could get so much worse. You don't understand like how much people are actually holding back. Okay. And all you doing is you opening the floodgates to that kind of commentary, which you don't want to do, bro. So I'm just giving you that as a pass, Kody. Don't do that to yourself. Don't sexualize your lady. Because if you get to talk, like if I'm sitting there with my buddies, and oh yeah, look at my wife. You got that booty, boy. Got that back end. You know I like it. And then one of them want to say something about it. How I'm going to jump up and want to slap him in the mouth because he's saying something about my life, my wife's behind. And I just got finished saying something about a behind. You crazy? Don't do that to yourself. Just use your common sense. Come on, player. Like be a grown ass man, doc. Like we old folk. we moving into the realm at Kody's age, my age. We're moving into the realm where we're not young bucks no more. We're moving into that realm where you're supposed to be ready to take the mantle as like family elders. You're not there at the elder stage yet, but you right around the corner. You in the neighborhood, okay? You circling the block, all right? I'm not saying it's next door, but you definitely circling the block, bro. And if you doing that, you can't be an elder talking like that. Like you talking reckless about your wife. This is your wife. This ain't some chick that you just messing around with, some side piece. This is your wife. This is your lady. Respect her. I'm like, really? Is that what we doing? Like you should try to respect the ladies you mess with in general, but damn sure respect your wife. And it's a shame that some dude on the internet got to tell you that. But thank you so much. Yeah, let's get some phone calls in because I'll be talking and shit all night, and then nobody get a chance to talk. So I'm gonna put my headphones on, and we'll rock through with Sharon coming to the stage. What's up, Sharon? How you doing?
Good evening, Brother James. I'm so glad you both brought the match because, honey, I brought the gas tonight. I'm telling you, we're going to pour it on. See, now, he goes at talking like that about his shy, pretty wife. You exactly right. You should not talk that way about your wife. Not to strangers, not to
Right.
friends, not to nobody. Nobody. He talking about the movies. He might ought to stick with Point Break and keep robbing them banks because I believe that's the only thing be keeping homegirl home. Now, I'm just going to tell you now that she going to call it quits when the money gone. I promise you she is.
Yeah.
If he can't see that, he's stupider than he looks. And when you start that lying and conniving or start that ways that he's done all these women kind of thing, it leads into these other things of talking indecently like he did about her and saying the things that he does about these other women. Did you catch the part about where he trusted and loved Mary more than he did Janelle, and then Janelle more than he did Christine?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he's back talking and double talking again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he could go with the original Batman with Michael Keaton, but he could have been the one with could have been Jack Nicholson's character. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Because he has now. I mean, I'm just,
Right.
And the stuff about Mary, now I'm not condoning what Mary did. I'm not condoning any kind of extramarital, any kind of anything like that. But if he told me that he's going to treat me bad because he felt like I had treated him bad for 20 years, if he melted down my ring, player, let me tell you something.
Right.
Cheating on him would be the least of his worries. Now, bro, I'm telling you. Now, I'm just telling you. There ain't no way. No way.
No, I'm 100% with that. You're right about that.
Yeah, and this, like I say, the more he gets upset, it's just like ramen head. Thou dost protest too much, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he just pointing back at her. Listen, he needs to calm himself because I don't believe homegirl going to take it this time. I believe she's going to be coming for him.
No, I think you're right.
I mean, it looks like in the advertisements, she's like, well, we're going to watch it. You're going to have to answer. You're going to have to say something, and then he's like, I might not have to answer. And I've got to say it, James, just because if I don't get a chance to call in when it happens, when she talks about them, she says that they should get in their own or deal with their own relationships and leave
keep her
her
name
out.
up out of mouth.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you something. When you give me my money back, I promise you I won't say your name again.
Right,
Bitch, you give me my money back, and I won't say your name ever again. I won't even let the thought of you come into my head. How about that?
Right.
Yeah. No. Yes. See, and I think Janelle's got a good point. I think he's not quite. I don't know. I just don't think that he's thinking the conniving way kind of thing. Because, a lot of times you'll hear him suggest something like suggesting to give Mary the money for that house when she first wanted to buy it, kind of thing. And then all of a sudden we're taking it back. And I don't think it was so much about not having the money as it was Robyn had a second thought about it. It's what I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's wrong in doing the things that he's doing and treating these women the way he has all these years. Of course, they're wrong for putting up with it too, because I'm not about it,
Right.
But I think she's a lot more conniving than everybody thinks she is.
No, I believe you. Well, thank you for calling it. I gotta
no problem. You have a good night.
All right, you have a good night. Thanks for calling. I appreciate you, and I definitely agree with your points.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Have a good one. See, I'm gonna go. You know what? Normally I don't do this. We're gonna talk about it tonight. Damn it! I'm of that generation where I say the generation before me. Okay, if you was to say some stuff like Sharon just said about Kody talking to Mary, because you treated me bad for them 20 years, I'm going to move you out to a different state away from your family and I'm going to make your ass suffer. And Sharon said, you know what? He would have to worry about a lot more than me cheating on his ass if he would have said that to me. I'm of the generation with it, like I said, especially the generation before me. If you was to say something like that, you better not come in there and eat nothing out of that kitchen. Don't eat nothing out of that kitchen that she make you, and don't go to sleep. Okay, 2 things you better not do. Don't go to sleep, or you're gonna get tattooed, or you're gonna wake up and the house gonna be on fire. Or 2, don't go in there and get nothing to eat up off of them. You know what I mean? If you eat that food, you better make sure she tastes it. Girl, this need some salt. Cause you will be in trouble, Jack. Like, we in a kind of gentler time. We've hit a renaissance. I don't approve of none of that. I'm just telling you, like, there's some things that back in the day that wouldn't have been a question. That wouldn't have been a question. Like, you do that, you better have you say that to a woman, you better have your bags packed. Okay. And I'm talking about your bags packed in the car, not bags packed upstairs. Because the last thing you want to do is go back up through the house. Okay, you want to have your bags packed. That's why back in the day, you had the guys that would they would go out and get cigarettes, coffee, milk, or bread, and then like you would never see them for like 20 years. They would just disappear. Because look, they done saying some wild stuff like, "Oh, I better get out of here," because she in there cooking chicken, or she in there making grits. And if you know, you know. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we got Kitty coming to the stage. What's going on, Kitty? You got 3 minutes?
I actually totally agree with Sharon. Actually, I was the one that actually pointed it out in chat, going, "Well, there's a saying from Gen X: F around and find out."
Yeah.
Anyway, I have 2 points to make. One, I thought Suki did an excellent job this time around than last time. And the second point is, I hope that Kody and Robyn gets their comeuppance. Honestly, you know what I mean?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So yeah, I think those are the most 2 important points. And for everybody else, I just want to say hi. Sorry that you can't see my face. I've been dealing with shit, and that's about it.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's right. You got the fur baby up. That's a good
Yeah, I got
representation.
a fur baby. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Is that some kind of terrier? What kind of dog is that?
He is a Stafford pit bull.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
he's from the pit bull breed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty beautiful.
Yes. All right. I'll see y'all.
All right. Oh, that's all you had?
Yeah, that's all I had.
Okay. She hit it and quit it. She like, I'm in there. Get in
Get
there
my
like
voice and
last year,
done
do
it.
my thing, and I'm out.
Yep. See y'all.
All right, have a good one. Thank you. Bye. I'm telling you, look, if you know, you know. Okay. like she said, boy. Oh no, that pie's for your father. You put that down. You don't be come in my kitchen just picking stuff up. Like, who told you to get that pie? That pie ain't for you. That pie for your father. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you, like, it's just, I don't know, it's a weird thing. Kody be saying stuff, like, he be having them conversations with these women, the stuff he be saying shit like he tired of living. Like, I'm just tired of being here. I'm tired. I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna just say some crazy stuff, like the craziest thing I can think of. Like, it's just crazy. That's crazy. Nobody talks like that. Yeah, I tried to tell. I rank my wives as far as respect, and I ain't respect Christine at all. But then I'm gonna stand on her porch and cry and talk about I don't understand why you leaving, because you didn't respect her. She didn't know that. I bet you she did. Bet you did. Bet she did. Next up, we got Brittany. Now, Brittany, what's going on, Britt?
Hey, James, how are you?
Going well.
You know what? Real quick before I get to my points, Cody's so lucky that knife in the kidneys was figurative.
Yeah.
Because that man has nothing but audacity for as little hair and as little inches downstairs that he has, it's too much. It's too much. He does way too much for what he lacks as a man. And I don't understand.
Confidence, man. It's
I
just confidence.
never will understand that. And then so Cody, we were talking about, how Cody listened to all the kikiing going on the phone, and he didn't go down there, but he also saw all them bananas that Mary had in her house out of nowhere, and he ain't
Mm,
asked no questions. All the bananas. You know she don't eat bananas.
yeah.
She don't like no bananas, but
Okay.
she
I
got
didn't know
all of
that.
them.
I didn't know that. But yeah. Yeah.
She
We
probably does, but I'm sure she had extra for the catfish. You know.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? It's crazy because sometimes like like, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I was saying earlier. That when you have like the little changes, the little
Mm-hmm.
inconsistencies and things like that, grown folk, we all grown. We know, like, if your man was talking to somebody on the phone, you can project what kind of person he talking to and what the
Mm-hmm.
level of his interest is based on his response. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when your man laugh and it's a friend of his versus when your man laugh and he's interested. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know the difference. And so if Kody did, like you say, you come in and all of a sudden, baby, I thought you was allergic to peanuts, and she got like peanut butter and jelly. She got peanut butter cookies. She got peanut butter. Like, baby, where all these peanuts come? You know, I don't like peanuts like that. You allergic? Who are these peanuts for?
Mm-mm.
You got to ask questions.
You have to. You have to. And then last thing, so Cody loves to talk about how comparison is, the thief of joy and all that. But if all of these relationships are supposed to be independent of each other, why are you trying to bring the other relationships up to what you and Robin have? You're supposed to have completely separate relationships than what you and Robin have.
Mm-hmm.
So, riddle me that, Cody. He has to riddle me a lot of things because he talked about how everybody be gaslighting him, and I was just like, but gaslighting is literally the reason why your whole family blew apart.
Right.
It's because that's all you do is gaslight people. But whatever. And then last thing, Christine actually, she really got on my nerves with the commentary that she talked about Mary. I feel like either say what Mary did or don't say nothing at all. But these
Right.
insinuations, that, girl, please go to hell.
Right.
Respectfully. Like I just don't want to hear it. Like
Right.
either say it with your whole chest or don't say nothing at all.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what I was saying last week. Like, either you put it out there or you keep it to yourself, but don't sit
Mhm.
there and like half-ass it and walk it halfway out the barn and try to creep it back in. Like,
Right.
you said what you said, and if you're smart enough, we all know what you're talking about. So go ahead and talk about it.
And just say, because then she
You know,
goes, oh, I don't want to ruin her life or what is just making those insinuations is pretty much just as damaging.
right,
It's
right,
it's it's that same level. So either you say it or you don't.
mm-hmm,
But
right.
yes, that is all I had to say. I will let you move on to the
I
next.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Brittany, not Brittany, one of the mega mods in the house. Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate everything you do.
No problem. Bye,
All
y'all.
right, have a good one. Is she right? Like, and you know what? And even I, like, Brittany said, I would even say to a degree, I think it's worse if you accuse somebody of something, but you don't give them the full allegation, but you just hint around it, but without the specifics of what it is you're exactly talking about. I think that's worse because then you don't even give me the opportunity to be able to defend myself by any definitive accusation or allegation that you're pressing against me. You're just merely implying that I'm doing something. And when I say, no, I never did that, you can say, yeah, but I never said all that. That's not what I said. See, what I said was, and it becomes very fluid. So from that respect, I think it's worse. I think, look, we all adults and we grown folk. You're a grown ass man, Cody. If you believe that shit, stand it or put 10 toes down, stand on your 2 feet and say that shit with your chest. She was cheating on me. She got catfish, blah, blah, blah. That's why we wasn't working together. That's why I wasn't going over there no more. That's my accusation against her. She accuses me of abandoning her. That's why I wasn't thumping with her no more. Give Mary the opportunity to come back, but like that ain't got nothing to do with it. The catfish, because my understanding of the catfish was she was vulnerable to the catfish because your ass stopped coming around. You said, she even said, which I guess you haven't acknowledged, that you told her when you guys first moved to Vegas that you were going to make her suffer and she was going to have to work her way back into the family. So how the hell did she start, like, all of a sudden she feels like she's a part of the family and she's so special and she's so wanted and she's so needed and she's so necessary, and then somehow she betrayed the whole family by cheating on you with the catfish? How does that occur if you told her that you don't have a place in the family, you don't belong here, your whole thing is based on a level of insecurity because you don't belong in a family? Like, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. But next up, ladies and gentlemen, we got Negla coming through. Wait, hold on 1 second. We got Negla coming through with a hot 3. Negla, what's going on?
Why you got me following Brittany? Now, Brittany, now you know that's my girl.
Yeah, now I got the tag
That's
team
my
of
sister.
justice going on. You kidding
You
me?
feel-
Brittany, now Brittany, the Negla 3 coming in with the elbow drop. That's like the world tag team champions.
You a mess. And you know what? And actually, this time I did type out notes. Oh my God. But no. And actually, I did type out notes for the show, but you know what? I recognize this, that what I pick up from the show, sometimes members pick, or you know what I mean, like the My Take family, they may or you may hone in on, you know, a little bit. And I'm, oh, you know what? That's right. That did happen. You know, so I love this. I love this forum. You know that.
Yeah.
But, okay, so first of all, I would turn into Miss Minnie, and I would bake them a special pie. That's all I'm saying. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. Now
you don't know. But I got you.
Right.
And for those who are curious, just check a movie called The Help, and you will figure it out.
It is what they won not an Oscar, a Grammy or something like, or whatever.
They won an Oscar for that.
Oscar, an Oscar. Yes.
Well deserved as well. That was a good movie.
Absolutely. Okay. And okay, second. Oh my God. These points, I do try to line them up, but these are out of order. Did you say Sugar Walls?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So my
great grandma got a little crazy. Pardon me.
My great grandma sweet. I'm just saying, when you said that, I was like, the what now? And the thing is, I knew what it was. Like, oh my God. Anyway, okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. The next point is, I was trying to find a new name for Fauntleroy, Lord Fauntleroy. So, okay. Now, please hear this whole point out before you say anything, because I do have a point. But at first, I had thought Lord Wonder, in honor of Stevie Wonder and his situation with the braids. Plus, he got 8 billion kids, right? But Stevie Wonder is actually, you know, decent, upstanding. Look, all his kids got college degrees. You know what I mean? Want for nothing, right?
Right.
So,
talented, so.
He actually has talent, and he actually has something. Look, I could listen to Stevie Wonder's entire works for the next 7 years, and I'm good. You feel me?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a little inside story, just real quick, not to interrupt you, but
sure.
Stevie Wonder's song, there's a song called A.S. That song, every time when my daughter was born, I would listen to that song. That was my song for her.
A.S. I'm gonna have to listen.
It's called As.
So A.S. just like
walk as Stevie Wonder As. Yeah.
Okay.
Just check that out. I'm telling you. That was my story. That was my song for my daughter.
Now, you know, I love Stevie, but you also understand why I'm thinking it need to be Stevie. You understand why? Like Stevie, like, baby, give him up, but he won't. And you know what? He's earned the right not to give him up. Okay, Noodlehead. Okay, Lord Noodlehead might stick with me because somebody mentioned that. I might have to try it a few times. Lord Ramen might work for me too, and I liked what Steam Frog 99 said as far as shopping. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Lord Robber and shopping, maybe Lord Noodlehead and shopping. I got to figure him out because my brain, if I said enough. I'll figure it out. Okay, so next point is let me see. Okay, so production really did have, how like when you was little and you was going in the store and your mama was like, don't ask for nothing, don't touch
Yeah.
nothing, you ain't getting nothing.
Right.
Okay. So answer these questions, watch these clips, or we ain't gonna pay you. You feel me?
That's it. That's it.
Because they didn't, it was like pulling teeth. And it's like, and that runs into my another point, which is almost my last point, but they don't want to watch the old clips because, so there is a scripture. Now, I don't know what the Book of Mormon teaches, and I don't know how much of the, the original 66 I don't get into that or what have you. But I'm a Christian, and my scripture teaches that if you resist the adversary, they will flee. And they'll become so uncomfortable that they just go, you know what I mean? Just run away.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're confronted with the truth, you can see that on their faces. You get what I'm saying? They didn't want to end up in a situation like that, and they been putting it off for so long that now it's like, and I don't care if it's if you want to say it's scripted drama or this, that, and the other, that's your business, but that's your family. TV is going to come and go. TLC could go out of business right now.
Right.
And you be SOL. They owe you money, I'm sure. But you know what? You know who's going to last? Them, was it 19 children?
Mm-hmm.
And all the mansions and dirty, dusty lots you've been buying, and rusty, dusty paintings and filthy. Anyway, never mind. Okay, this is my last point. And this is the one that really is the one that's most sort of I don't know, poignant for me or whatever. But so I do speak German, and there is a word, and I like in my brain I thought it, but I've never shared about it. But it's called Schadenfreude.
Yes.
And it's where and I looked up the definition. It's pleasure derived by someone from another person's a pleasure derived by someone from another person's misfortune. And so normal people understand that this is not healthy. The family does. However, this is the thing. It's always felt to me as if, and I'm talking about season 1 when Robert was just, this, that, and the other, or whatever. It was almost like, oh, he fell in the dirt. Ha ha ha. Like anything that bad that happens to any of the other children, or anything, maybe a setback or something like that, that's you know what, that's what they get for this, that, and the other. But if something bad happens to you, oh my gosh, the world stops.
Right.
I mean, he's talking about being on life support. He wasn't on life support. He's talking about being in the hospital for 2 days with COVID. Yet you had a daughter who had her entire back reconstructed.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, I had other things to do.
Right.
Excuse me?
I couldn't be away from my family at that time.
Right. I couldn't be away from my family. And the reason why I'm bringing up the Schadenfreude is because it's almost like they're like, well, that's their business. You know what? They don't want to call me. They don't want to talk to me. So, sorry. So F them, forget them. What happens to them happens to them. And you don't care. But now that one of them is actually, on the other side, you still can't get it, dude.
No, you're right. You're right. It's a shame. It's a shame because, like, when I push them down the shove, I think Schadenfreude is right, because when rubber meets the road, a lot of their happiness was built on the misery of the other wives.
Exactly. And that's why I've always said Robert wanted to be prom queen. She wanted to be like the prom, the one on the throne with her prom king. while the others were her peasants and servants.
Right.
I didn't
That
mean
was
to
a
cut
fair
you off.
point.
I'm sorry, James.
No, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But I'm gonna have to let you go because I gotta
You're good.
rip through. Appreciate you
James,
calling in.
you all have a blessed week. My take family, and we'll get
You
it next week.
you as well. You as well. Excellent points. And I appreciate you bringing in some culture with the Germans.
And everybody take you know what, if you're not, so I'm sorry, I'm going, but no, quick, real quick, sign up for my take uh, notifications, even if you're not subscribed or anything like that. First of all, please subscribe, but definitely please sign up for all notifications, because it's not just Sister Wives. Jane drops knowledge about just life, so
Oh, I appreciate
it's good. All right,
it.
bye, dear.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
All right, have a good one. All right, Negla, dropping a little commercial for me, a little commercial spot. Appreciate you. Love it, love it, love it. Next up, guys, we have Jules in the house. What's going on, Jules? You got a hot 3. What's going on?
Okay, hot three. Let me pull it up real quick.
All
First
right.
off, um, I wasn't able to clock in last week, but I was at my job flipping out. Like my entire, on behalf of my all of my coworkers, we got the whole floor watching Sister Wives. But we should be
Okay.
working, but I shouldn't be saying this. So anyway, first off, I was beside myself to see Cody on a family vacation in Wyoming
Mm,
on a fam like they went to different places. He
right.
was on a family vacation reminiscing, showing Robin about this is where I made my first time. You never made no freaking money because you took Janelle's money. Janelle had to go and get a trailer. But you showing people this stupid ass time. They bored as hell. Everybody's looking at him. Robin is like bending her neck like she's just trying to like keep it together. The kids are tired. They're hungry. It was so out of whack. Like I feel like they had no information. They had no storyline. So they decided to pull Kotex out of Robin's, you know what, and throw that together to put it together. Everybody knows he was estranged from Garrison. Everybody knows they were not speaking. Everybody knows Robin does not like that kid. For a woman who cries at the drop of a dime for everything, she was unable to shed any tears miraculously for these past 2 episodes. And I was waiting to see if she could muster something up. It was so bothering to me to see that. The second thing that I thought was bizarre was when they were in the restaurant and Cody's talking about how he used to be a chick magnet back in the day. And I'm bringing this up because at the tell-all, when like that episode when he licks her picture.
Yeah.
First of all, one minute they're like uber religious. He's baptizing his daughter, and it's the reverence of being well, it's bullshit. And then the next minute he's a chick magnet, and back in the day he could pull anybody. And
Mm,
then what was interesting for me in particular was Robin 2.0 at the table looking at him as he's telling the story, and she sticks her tongue out and does this licking. Did you catch that, or is that
yeah,
because
no,
she
not
was
caught it.
doing this? And listen, I don't know if you ever remember, I had called in like in the beginning of the season, and I told you, my spirit told me that girl is Robin 2.0. Mark my words. Mark my words. Mark my words.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. I feel like they are all liars. Everybody. Everybody, including Janelle, including Christine, and Mary. And I feel like now with these past like few seasons, especially this season, they're being more authentic. And I hate the fact that it took a horrible situation like this for me to actually look at Janelle and see like a real person for the first time. I felt like she was very unemotional, detached for many years. I never
Mm,
connected with that character for a really long time. Like I couldn't like get her, you know? And when they took them into the humane society, and you could see she before they even got in there, she was trying so hard to hold the emotions back, and she just broke down. I was at my job crying like somebody just. I was a mess. That she really opened up. I really hate that it takes losing like somebody like your kid
mm,
to like make you to humanize you almost. Sorry, to humanize you. because for me, I never really like I hate to say it, I never really connected with Janelle so much. I always felt like I connected with her more through her kids because her children are exceptional, you know?
Right.
And RIP to Garrison again, but that was something that really got me thinking, whoa, like
Hello. Uh-oh. I think we lost Jules.
can you hear
Hello?
me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Can you hear me? Oh, when they were at the funeral, um, Janelle's oldest son, I can't remember his name. We don't see him often.
Logan. Logan.
Yes. First of all, the way that everybody was standing, the divide was obvious. And that was very disturbing. Also, the theatrics with Kody wearing a bright suit, like it's just disrespectful, like period. Just disrespectful. They were really on a family vacation.
Right.
Um, telling everybody about this dream. Everybody mourns differently, and I shouldn't like make comments about how a person mourns. Everybody is allowed to show emotion or not show emotion. So maybe the way that I look at you now as being a person who's not very emotional, showing like actual emotion for the first time, like that I noticed. Maybe I shouldn't say these things because we don't know these people. It's just a show. It's just a blurb, and they only give us a pocket of their life. But what was interesting to me was when Cody was leaning over the grave. He was on his knees and he was trying to get the jacket for the suit that's too tight and too small for him. He was trying to get the jacket off, and Logan reaches over to try to assist him, and he refused. He doesn't even acknowledge him. But then he's like struggling, almost about to fall in the hole in the grave, and then Robyn like flies over and reaches out, but everybody's offering help. But here he can give her the jacket. Those small little actions to me show me how petty and childish and unevolved Cody still is. And them refusing to answer questions and Robyn being all pouty and having an attitude, she's mad. She's mad because everybody knows she spent all that money on the dolls. She's mad because there's been no redemption. She's mad because she thought this was going to be the season where she can change her image and it didn't work because nobody's stupid. And
Right.
that's why she's mad. And she can stay mad. And to Negla, I suggest you go with Kotex because you know where Robin stays. I mean, where Cody stays in Robin's kitty cat. Let's keep it clean. You could go with Kotex, and I prefer Robin for Robin because she robbed all of them.
Right.
She did. Anyway, let me not hold you, and let me get back to work. Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. Have a great
All
night.
right, bye.
Bye. Awesomeness. Awesomeness. Before we go too far afield, let me just check some things real quick. Oh, I gotta do some real quick housekeeping. Real quick, we got Lizzie B. She gifted one my take on reality membership. Thank you so much, Lizzie B. One of our mega misers gifted a membership, so hopefully somebody can enjoy that. Should already been gifted. Appreciate you. Make sure you click there's like a toggle box or whatever that you can put in where you're eligible for that, and you will get access to the I do a Monday motivational video, which I drop on Monday mornings. I have one out now that I just dropped the other day. It's called Fight Back, cross out, called Fighting Forward. So we're going to fight forward instead of fighting back. And I go through a whole thing where I talk about that. I have another video that'll be dropping tomorrow, motivational video. I'm very excited about it. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. The members will have access to it Monday morning, but I think well, everybody will have access to the video that I dropped on yesterday, and that'll be a Monday motivation, and I'll just give early access to the members. I think I'll do it that way. So I have another video that'll be coming out for the members early. So make sure you sign up for the membership, or if you get a membership gifted to you, make sure you thank the person who gifted to you, because that's a very kind gesture. So thank you very much. Let me give Lizzie B a little something. We'll get too far. Then we have Unlimited Lipstick. Janet became a YouTube member. Welcome to the crowd, Janet. Yeah. Let me give you a little something. Then we have a raspberry. I don't know why I gotta say it twice every time. But it's a $10 super chat. My question is, if Crody loves Robyn, Kody and Robyn, Crody and Robyn loves Robyn, you can enjoy it. That you can enjoy that in private. That he needs to broadcast it that loudly and publicly say that his relationship isn't that stable to begin with. And I 100% agree with that. Like, anytime you see somebody, the guy, make sure that you know you with somebody. This is the equivalent of going out with your friends or going out with a couple, and every 2 seconds somebody got to put their arm around somebody or be in the proximity or always had their hands on them, clawing on them or pawing on them, like just to signify to everybody else that they together. Yeah, their relationship is not strong. Somebody's a little insecure because you want everybody to think you together. So hopefully everybody keep their mitts to themselves. That's what that is. So yeah, the whole like, I'm so in love. Oh, I'm so in love with her. I'm so in love. There's also, you're insecure. There's also a part where if you hear that a lot, especially publicly, my other thought would be either he wants to let everybody know that he's with her and this is his lady, or his ass is cheating. And that would be my second thought. His ass is cheating because he's trying to make his wife feel like secure enough that he can go out and do what he want to do, go out and do his dirt without her ever question. Girl, you know I love you. You the only one for me. You the only one I got eyes for. You know that. So yeah, but I'm always concerned when I see people overplaying their hand. But yeah, good point, Raspberry. Next up, we got Brittany. Not Brittany with the 499 super chat. Also, can someone ask McKelty if Robyn knew Mary was so terrible, why did she offer to give Mary another child? Exactly. If that was a thing that was running around the family, that Mary was such a horrible person and she was so abusive, and according to Peyton, Robyn came into the family and she literally saved our lives from Mary. But I'm not gonna give no details. Why? How terrible a person would you be if you Robyn to say, let me gift you another victim? Let me give you another victim. If I come into the family and I save these children from your tyrannical behavior, let me give you somebody who I carry for 9 months. If you Robyn, I'm going to carry this human being for 9 months. I'm going to fully cook them. Then when they done, they pop out the oven, I'm going to hand them over to you and take my hands off of them and give that person to you as your personal responsibility. Because if by the definition that Robyn was given, she was going to sign that baby over to Mary. That was going to be Mary's baby. So why would you give her a baby if you thought she was dangerous? And if you thought that she wasn't fit to be a parent, how cruel are you to offer that as a possibility only to take it away? Like, that's a different level of cruelty. So either way, it's just a jacked up situation. But very good point, Brittany. Give you a little something. Right, and then we're going to get back into the phone calls because, you know, I got some phone calls. A lot of folks coming in. Got 3 minutes in the hot box. Coming up next, we got inhalation aerosols. What's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh my God, this is awesome. It's my first time doing this. Hey.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, so I watched Sister Wives a little bit in high school, but then came back to watching it after I started working for a company in Utah. And I can honestly say to you that the amount of gaslighting and just absolute disdain for the women is very common in that culture. Whether they grew up Mormon or they grew up around the Mormons, it's very much, okay, well, if you're a woman and you're raising concerns, you're overly emotional. You're making yourself the victim. You're being dramatic. You're causing problems. And so for Kody, the rest of the world sees that he's just a complete ass. For Kody, he grew up in a culture where he's the man. And not only is he the man, he's the white man with the blue eyes and the blonde hair who's going to take on all these women. He thinks he's a god because he's told he's like a god. And a lot of the men in Utah truly believe that they have like this almost godlike mentality to them. And I've had the unfortunate or fortunate pleasure of meeting a lot of Mormon men, and I can tell you that that is something, whether it's severe or just a little bit of it in there, it's there because they grew up around it. And I actually know somebody who used to work with Kody years ago.
Uh-oh.
Years ago. Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, he was super nice, but he never mentioned his wives." I'm like, "Of course not. Why would he mention his wives? Because then that's going to ruin his reputation." And it's
Right.
really aggravating that he brings up sales. He has not worked in sales in over 25 years. This man hasn't had a job, God knows how long, because I'm pretty sure when they got the show, he was unemployed or close to being unemployed. And yeah, it's just something that's a huge problem still. Like, we can get rid of Kody. We could put Kody in the doghouse because he deserves to be there. But then what about all those other women in Utah too? It's like a serious issue. And I can honestly say too, if we're talking about the episode, Janelle saying that Kody wasn't manipulative enough to do that to Mary because he's too stupid, which is like, hello, that guy's a moron. Totally agree. I definitely think that had more to do with Robyn, because you can see how Robyn deflected and said, "Oh, I never said anything like that. I never did that." Well, then why
Mm.
did you guys have 2 seasons of you trying to be a surrogate for Mary? And why did we have all of these episodes discussing how you were worried about losing your children to divorce? You brought it up all the time. It's even on TLC. Um, so I mean, not only is there just like tons of gaslighting that comes from that Mormon Utah LDS culture, Kody is obviously a narcissist and just completely screwed up in the head. Like, that man definitely needs a psychotherapist, some testing done. But Robyn is just an even bigger part of that culture, and she thrives in it. This woman loves it. When they called her the golden cow and she started giggling, first off, I wanted to slap her. And I'm sorry, James, but I've had almost a bottle of wine watching the episode and listening to your stream too, but I wanted to kick the shit out of her because she starts laughing over them calling her the golden cow. But it's
Right.
true. She knows how to work that system. She grew up in that system, and the system works for her. So she's going to keep it going. She's going to blame all of them, because if she blames the system, what happens to her, right?
Right. Right. Well, if you blame the system, then even if you say like, "Oh, it's the system. It's not me. I'm not a bad person. It's just how it works." But you benefit from the system. And even though the system, as I understand it, because I am on the outside, but as I understand it, it's cultivated to benefit the men. If you are the man's favorite and you have his favor, then
Mm-hmm.
it benefits you as well. So you, even though you're not the target or object of the system and how it works, and you're not the primary functioneer or beneficiary of the system, you still get a benefit from the system. So
Mm-hmm.
you have an advantage, an inherent advantage. So even though it's oppressive and it's wrong, you're still winning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when he's in the hot tub, you in the hot tub with his ass, clinking
Ugh.
glasses and laughing at the other wives as they clean the front rooms. So no, yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. But
Oh, it's terrible.
yeah,
And first off, let's talk about how gross it is to imagine Kody in a hot tub. I'm sorry, I just have to say that's disgusting.
it
The
don't make
amount
you
of
want to lick
hair.
pictures. It don't make you want to lick pictures. What? Like,
That man makes me wish I was a lesbian every time I watch the show. He just turns me off to any type of man, any type of penile appendage. It's just gross. It's so gross. But I mean, yeah, I mean, something needs to be said about it. I mean, that and these women, I'm so glad for all 3 of them to be able to break out of that pattern and really see who they are, and try to support each other. I do wish Christine would be more supportive of Mary. I think she's being kind of a mean girl to her.
mm,
Considering they all went through this hell together. So
right,
even with, if bad stuff happened in between them, you don't have to be friends, but I think you guys should all look at each other and be like, we were in this abusive power dynamic together for years, and I think we need to support each other through this.
right,
Um,
right.
but sorry, James, I'm kind of ranting now. I absolutely love your stream though.
No, no, I appreciate it. In fact, if you have a time, if you have a moment, go to my take on reality questions at gmail.com. I had a question I wanted to ask you, and just leave your information there and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, sounds good. If you can send that in a chat too, just in case I forget or something.
Okay. All right. I'll
I
send it
appreciate you.
in a private stream. Just don't hang up when I disconnect. All right.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you. Have a good one. All right. Hold on 1 second. Because I would like to do a special show, especially with people who are more familiar with the Mormon culture. Maybe even get Kitty in. in on it. Just to talk about like some of the nuances and things of that nature, because I understand a lot of this by the cursory look that I've had at like some of the Mormon faith and what I understand about Utah. But it's a different thing when you have boots on the ground and you actually have people who have lived it or lived around people who live it, and they have a better understanding of it. So I also want to reach out to a young lady who is a trad wife, and I want to maybe put a show together, get some of the folks together from that culture, and just have a conversation. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I want to thank Inhalation Aerosol. Thank you for your call. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we got Betty. Betty got a hot three. What's going on, Betty?
Oh, girl, I'm going to talk real fast then because, I can tend to wonder. One thing about Mary, and I don't particularly care for her, they keep talking about her being so mean and eggshells, but that's from their perspective. But you got to think about them children. And I'm not being ugly. I had 4, and God knows every one of them had friends in constantly. But Mary, for quite a while, only had one child in her space. And it was probably very different being with a single child. She was able to place things out. She was having things in place. Because we saw the difference between Mary's furniture versus, say, Janelle and Christine's furniture. That shit was broken down because you had rough and tumble boys and running through the house and probably throwing football, tackling each other. I mean, we saw them tackle each other in the bedrooms.
Yeah.
So as far as they're concerned, like the eggshells may have been, please not in the house. Take it outside. Right. No, you can't jump on my furniture. Get the hell off the bed. Get down. Sit down like a little man. Because God knows, last week I'm going to hurry. I'm not picking on her kids, but I had 2 little hellions come in because a friend that I used to work with, she wanted to stop by. I'm like, sure. She brought in that 3-year-old, 4-year-old. I've got glass shit everywhere. I'm going, she just sitting there. I'm like, get your child. That is glass. Do you not fucking? Oh, pardon my language.
No.
But do you not fucking see glasses everywhere? Right. My poor little dogs. They're chasing them around, scaring the shit out of them, trying to grab their ears. I'm like, let's take this to the porch. We got to go outside. Like by the time she left, I was like, I need a drink.
Yeah.
And I didn't let her stay but 30 minutes. She's like, you ready for me to go? I'm like, yes. You got to go. Like, I'm sorry.
I will say this. I'm pause real quick. I will say this straight up. I 100% agree with you. There is a point where you raise your kids, and your house is no longer baby proof. Like as your kids get older, so does your taste in your furniture, your taste in your fragile stuff. Like you, all of a sudden, instead of you putting your breakables up on the top shelf, all of a sudden it starts coming down, and the kids realize they can't play ball in the house. And you got stuff on coffee tables now, and you have glass stuff. You start pulling out some of your antique stuff that came down from your mom and your grandma. And that starts making it into the living room. So yeah, when you have little ones come over, and especially from parents who maybe let their kids be a little more active in the house, because maybe their house is like still baby proof, where yours isn't. Like you need to get that, are you getting them or am I getting them? But somebody needed
that was the thing. I had to keep chasing them. Oh, hell no. So I think with Mary, it may not have even been physical. It's just sit your ass down. Like I've worked hard for this. This is mine. I'm taking care of it. And she stated that before, that hell, look at the furniture she just gave to her sister. Shit's probably 15 years old and pristine.
Right.
So no, she may not have wanted chocolate crumbs and fingerprints all over every damn thing.
Right. And like you said,
that doesn't make her mean.
The boys were, because I've seen a few episodes, and there's no disrespect to the boys, because everybody, sometimes boys will be boys, and some people raise their boys a little rougher than other people. But I've seen where like it's been on tape where like, especially Janelle's boys would physically assault one another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With reckless abandon. Like I think Gabe even said, like, yeah, that was the first time we went to the ranch without the older boys there, without Logan and Hunter. And, I punched Garrison in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I punched him in the nose. He had a bloody nose. That's why his nose was bleeding. And he said it like it was just like, I got him a hamburger.
When they went to the movies and fighting over the front seat.
Yeah.
Because I had 3 boys and a girl. and they were rough and tumble. Well, two of them were rough and tumble. One was a book nerd. And I'm like, if you don't set your ass down, because I get that belt out, be like, okay, try me. And then the older they got, I wasn't, they got taller, and I grabbed that damn earball. I'm like, come here. They're like looking down at me, like, set your ass down. Not in this house. Not now. Not no ham. No ham. No ham. But my only other thing I point, because I know I got 3 minutes and I burned up 2 or 3.
No, you're fine.
When Kody, we all know he's, bleh, but he could not resist bringing those children into the mix again. Now, those women, when he said he didn't, you love each of them differently and blah, 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 making excuses. Those women are grown. They have a broad shoulder. Fine. You want to talk about them? Say it. But when you say even your children you love differently, that they each bring something to you, bullshit.
Yeah.
You've got more than one child. You love their differences, and their differences bring different perspectives, but the love is equal across the board. If one of mine needed a kidney, they're getting. The other one needs a kidney, then they're going to have to fucking split that sucker in half. Because I'm not going to choose one over the other. Never.
Right.
Which is why I'm always broke.
Yeah, I think I 100% agree with that. Because I was thinking the same thing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, if you have kids, you love all your kids. You just might, like you said, they have different needs. You might care for them differently because their needs are different, and you might approach them different. You might even have different rules based on the fact of their temperament, their behavior, and how they conduct themselves. But that doesn't mean that I really love this kid. The other kid, not so much.
Yeah. They get on my nerves, so that I'm gonna, I don't love them quite as much because they don't do as much for.
Right. Yeah. Only psychos say shit like that. Like that's, you know what I mean? Only weirdos, psychos, and narcissists say stuff like, well, if you're not really helping me out, then I don't really care for you, like son or not. So especially.
It's not the thing with like my middle son. God knows he got on my damn nerves growing up, but he had ADD. And he was dyslexic, and then he had anger management, and he was a big old boy, so having to teach him how to deal with that anger,
right?
And to deal with bullies. It's like, no, don't hurt them,
right?
Like, we don't hit, we don't hurt, we're gonna walk it out. And then I had one that was so smart. I'm like, he'd be using these words. I'm like, what in the hell are you talking about? Let me go get a dictionary.
Right.
And then I had one that was so chill that I was like, God, if you don't pick up your damn feet and like a sloth. Even in the house fire they were in a couple years ago, he went through the house like, fire. Walked outside, said, forgot the cat. Goes back into the house fire, grabs the cat, and goes back and just steadily shuffling. Like, Jesus Christ. And my son has a video of it. Everybody else is racing around. He's just shuffling. And he doesn't do drama, period. Like, I would love to put him with somebody that does drama just because he just looks at him and says, whatever, and walks on. I've never seen him lose his temper. Nothing. I mean, he's just very chill. You can't make him pissed off. He won't argue with you. He just look at, and my husband's the same way. He ain't gonna argue with you, and he can't say mad at anybody. So he just looked at you like, whatever. So I don't have that. If somebody pisses me off, I tend to go. I know my 3 minutes are up. And bless your heart for listening to me. And I tried to talk really, really fast for you. I hope you understood me.
No,
I love you.
You're perfect. Thank you so much.
I love you so much, sweetheart.
Have a great night.
Keep doing what you do, baby.
I'm gonna try.
Bye, sweetheart. Girl, you got it. Love you, baby.
Love you too.
Bye.
Have a good one. All right. We have Caramel Cuties up next. Wait. Okay, here we go. Caramel Cuties, what's going on?
Hey, James, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it has, but that's all right. We'll make up.
All right. Instead of a hot 3, give me a hot 4. I got it. I'm going to try to talk fast, but I'm going to piggyback because, going after Mama Betty sometimes is hard. Like, you got to keep up. So to piggyback off of something Mama Betty said when it comes to Mary having one child versus, Christine and Janelle both having 6, and majority of the boys were from Janelle's. I've also hinted before that Janelle and Christine weren't the best when it comes to keeping house, right? A lot of times, especially like in Vegas, Janelle's sink stayed full of dishes. I mean, I know she had a dishwasher, but hey, she let them sit there for days on end before she makes somebody wash. I'm thinking, and this is just me throwing some things out, when they all lived under one roof together, they might have said, okay, this is the rules, this is how we're gonna raise the kids, this is what we're gonna do. But
Mm,
then when they got in their own separate spaces, like the Lehigh house, like you said, Mary started bringing out her family heirlooms and antiques and whatever else because dead name Mariah back then, now Leon, probably wasn't so hard to raise. Seemed like
mm,
she might have been bratty in them teenage years, but she could have been a very good kid who listened and did what she was told. Whereas some of them other Hellraisers was like, "You're not my mama. I ain't gotta listen." So
right.
yeah, when the Lehigh home came about, it might have been Mary had a different attitude. I don't want your kids tearing up my damn house. And I don't blame her. Like, I'm just like Mama Betty. I got a friend. I had glass coffee tables. Only baby proofing of my house that I did was the cabinet in the kitchen with the cleaners, like all the cleaning products. I put them
Mm,
little baby locks on that. And I would put the little plastic pieces in the plugs. But my kids knew better. I got a girlfriend. She didn't teach her kids nothing. They come to my house and I'm still waiting for her to replace my glass coffee table that her
mm,
son broke over 15 years ago. Joking. I ain't waiting. I knew I wasn't gonna get the money for it. But she let them run rapid. I had, permanent marker on my walls,
wow.
fingernail polish on my carpet, and I'm talking about red, bright colors. And she would sit there and act like she didn't see or hear her kids tearing my stuff up. So we got to a point where we would meet at parks, we would meet in public places, or I take my kids to her house. And
Mm,
then when we were done visiting, we go home
right.
because she wasn't allowed back. So I can get where this kind of runs into my second point with Christine not wanting to talk about whatever her issue is with Mary. It probably does surround the kids, and whatever she may have to say might be bad enough to cancel the show, and they all want to keep their paychecks going. But at the end of the day, if we all sat back as parents and agreed we're spanking and whooping and yelling and cursing at the kids as a form of discipline, then you can't get mad that Mary did her job if that's what
Right.
you all agreed to. But if you didn't agree to it and she was just doing it because those are your kids and not hers, then I feel why Christine has a problem. Because contrary to belief, I am that mama bear, and I'll be damned. Daddy, grandmama, uncle, auntie, I tell everybody I'll fight Jesus Christ for my kids. I don't play. Not one iota. So maybe Christine's just at a deadlock where, look, y'all know we got a problem. It's funk. I'm not gonna keep speaking on it, but when the contracts is up and the NDAs have cleared, y'all will find out then what exactly it is. But I do feel that everybody's like, hey, say it with your chest. Whatever's gonna happen, let it be known. I don't think she can at this point. And
Mm,
I would hate to hear that, oh, one time she yelled at Peyton and it hurt his feelings, and all these years that's what we've been sitting and holding on to. Because if that's the case, baby, go heal yourself. Let it go.
right.
My last point is I'm glad this tell nothing. Suki seems like she kind of has a backbone
Mm,
because she let Kody know, like, hold up, you being a little hypocritical because you just said, you know what I'm
right.
saying? You couldn't love the three, and now you're trying to say, like, I'm glad that she's finally not putting up with his shit. Pardon my
Right.
French,
Right.
but Robin not wanting to answer questions or saying that she can't watch the little, playbacks that they do. I'm over it. I'm over it. At this point, why are we paying her to still be on our goddamn TV screens?
Right. Right. She
Her
taking
and her
advantage.
children.
You
Her
straight
and
taking
the children.
advantage. Yeah.
Like I'm fed up at this point. I'm like, are y'all gonna spring for the spinoffs? If so, who is it? When, where, why? Can we start figuring this out? Because if it's everybody else outside of Kody, Robin, and their 5 children, I may watch. But if it's
Mm,
only them, I think I've had enough with my sister wives, and I'm gonna move on to something else.
I hear you.
That's
I
just,
hear you.
that's just where I'm at. The funeral scenes. It took me a minute. I actually had to rewatch, and I'm gonna be real. My comments is real brief, and my only thing would be, yes, that's his son. Yes, I understand it's tragic to lose somebody in the manner that they lost Big G's, but Kody and Robin would have been watching the services further back than the damn filming crew if it would have been mine.
Right.
They would
Right.
have had to been outside. Ain't no digging holes. Ain't no showing up. Ain't no pinching the little bit of dirt like she couldn't get her damn nails dirty. Like, we not doing none of that. Because they would have seen me show my whole entire behind. right then and there. Like I ain't
Yeah.
playing with y'all no more. Like
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. You can look at his picture in your garage where you keep it and go mourn from your house, but you gonna mourn the hell away from
Right. Right. No, I hear you. I hear you.
it.
Yeah.
Just ain't no way.
I don't want to be that one, but you might have been watching that shit on TV if it was me. You've been watching it with the rest of America.
Yeah, I
you know,
mean, I'm there
I don't know.
completely. Just for he's our passenger in the car, and then to find out he wasn't even with y'all. Like his
Mm,
ashes was nowhere near your van or SUV that y'all drove down, which didn't make sense to me. How he had 4 out of the 5 kids in the vehicle, plus all that he brought to dig a hole. I was
Yeah.
like, that must have been multiple car rides, or y'all just hit up a Lowe's or Home Depot once you got to Wyoming. Either
And it
way,
might
none of my
have,
business. I don't care. It
and then maybe they got
was
it
a
from
lot.
the farm. He might have got it from his dad's house. Because I'm
Oh,
sure they
I
got
didn't think
plenty of
about
stuff out
that.
there with the posts and all the
Right.
stuff they got to dig. But no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I hear what you're saying.
I'm interested to see the remaining 3 episodes of the Tell Nothing and where this is gonna go.
Yeah.
But good start on Suki's end. I'm glad, like I said, but I know I left it in the comments in the chat that I doubt if we have another season, she's gonna be the host next season because it looks like she's taking off Cody pretty well, and I love it
Yeah.
every minute of it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad she got a backbone because it's about time.
No, agreed. Agreed. I will thank you for calling in. Appreciate you.
No problem.
All right.
Appreciate you too. See
All
you
right.
in the chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carmel Cuties, one of our mega mods, another one of our mega mods calling in. Throw some let's throw some hearts in the chat for both Carmel Cuties, Lizzie B, and for Brittany, not Brittany calling in. Lizzie B didn't call in, but Carmel Cuties did, and Brittany, not Brittany, but Lizzie B be in the house working and hustling, so gotta give us some love. Next up, we got Sarah M. Ty, if you want to call back in, you're more than welcome. Sarah M, you got a hot 3. Drop it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my family is from Kody, Wyoming.
Okay.
I have been drinking a little bit, sorry.
No
I
worries.
wish that Betty poured my drinks, but she didn't. I just had to pour my own. So here's what I have to say. Like that sign that they were all looking at, like it actually, okay, I'm gonna organize my thoughts. Because I have lived there a while and I've actually thought about doing a video so that you can see what it actually looks like. And I would love for you guys to see it. But I do have to point it out that it actually is a lot of work to put into like doing the camera work and doing the like James, back me up. Like it actually how much work do you have to put into just doing this, what you're doing right now? Like you have to actually organize it. You have to do the software. You have to organize the mics and you have to do the cameras and all that stuff, right?
Mm. No, it's a while. It takes a long time.
Yeah,
That's
it
why,
takes
that's
it's
why
a
his
thing.
videos are so sparse sometimes.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. And so I really want you guys to see it. I genuinely want to show you what it looks like because there aren't that many this is like a Vegas sign. It's like they don't show it, but like genuinely, and by the way, inhalation aerosols, girl, I got you. Like we are friends. Like we are friends right now. I love all of these people, James. Also, again, behind the scenes. The thing is, you have to have a level of confidence to do something like James does. And we all know what we're talking about. But like James, it's kind of crazy because like you're tall, you're very tall, and you have a successful relationship, and you obviously are able to take care of your family. But it's like you're humble, and it's like, yeah. So there's a level of, if you're a creator, you have to know that people are listening to you. You have to know that people can listen to you. Just that's what I'm saying. So anyways, so I want to make a video where I show you guys actually how weird it is to walk down the streets of Kody when there is just nothing but dust and tumbleweeds. And then like you see this weird ass sign, because I was actually a little upset by the sign because I knew what it was before I even knew that Cody's like
sold it
I
to the
didn't even
people.
know. I didn't even know that Kody made that or found a way to make that sign. Like, it's like a crazy sign. It's genuinely like upsetting, honestly. But God bless. And honestly, I kind of want to go in there. And also, by the way, I am, okay. Let's make this short. Let's pretend like I'm Betty and I don't know how long it takes me to talk. Just kidding, Betty. I love you. So I'm using my last third to say that, like, I actually am tangentially a part of the Mormon church. And I'm realizing through all of this that I am not a main part of the church. It was like they would have a bunch of people making babies off to the side so they could bring people in. Like,
okay.
like
so you can deepen the gene pool so that way
yeah. No. Like, my dad went out and found my mom and brought her in, and she was a hippie, and like, yeah, no, I was a side quest. I was like a random side person. I love you, Betty. I love you. Anyways, Betty, you got to make me a drink before I die. Anyways, so yeah, no, because when I try and talk to any of the people in the actual organized church on it, whether it's the main organized Mormon church or whether it's the organized Mormon church of the FLDS or all of them, like, none of them were like, we don't know who you are, but they would for sure bring me right back in if they needed something in the gene pool,
Right.
Yes. And so it's crazy to me. Anyway, you get it.
No, I do get it. You said you're from Kody?
Yeah, no, my family's living in Kody right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if you make it, you're in just look in a private chat, you'll get my email. Send me the link and I'll upload it. I'll put it up.
So I'm living somewhere else, but I'm going to go visit them, and I might make a video. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm with that. And if you want to be a part of that show that I was going to try to put together with propose to Aerosol, just hit me up in
Yes,
the
Aerosol.
yeah, just hit me up in the
No, she resonates. Hi, Aerosol. Thank you.
All right. She said she gave you some love back. So $1.9 super chat from Inhalation Aerosol. We love Sarah M. So
yeah.
She got you in. But thank you so much for calling in.
All right.
Like
Thank you. Love you, buddy.
All right. Take it
Love
easy.
you, Carmel. And Brittany, you better send me pictures of your honeymoon.
There you go. Brittany, not Brittany. Yeah, right? She's getting married soon. But thanks for calling in. Appreciate you. Awesomeness. Next up, let me give Inhalation Aerosol a little something. And then we have a special we have a special one from KM Gilbertson. Haven't seen her in a bit. What's going on, KM Gilbertson? How you doing? $20 super chat. I think this might be my last season of Sister Wives. Listening to this episode is background noise, doing productivity sprint, and everything Team RK said made me livid. Yep. Robyn and Kody made you livid. I get it. Like, you know what? I was actually talking I was talking earlier about it. And just where they are as a unit. I think season 20, because I know they're filming season 20 right now. I think that might be the end. Like, I don't see where they're going to go beyond that. Like, there's really no ties to it. And I even respect something that Christine kind of said leading into tonight's episode, where she said, I'm tired of talking about Kody because he was in the past. Like, I broke up with him 4 years ago. That's what Christina said. I broke up with him 4 years ago. We've been apart for 4 years now. And you're still talking about him. And that can't be, like, my wife actually said that. She brought that up first. She said that shit can't be healthy. for you to be talking about your ex when you're with your current husband. And like, he's still so much a part of your life, even though you guys have kids together, like you still talking about him and you still reliving a lot of the trauma that he put you through. And you're still like dredging up a lot of those old feelings. And he's still like sitting in your mind like that. He's living rent free in your brain, like in your mind. So that can't be healthy. And a show forces them to do it. So, but, Ty, you just got dropped again. I was going to pull you up. But let me give KM Gilbert a little something. Hey, Ty, what's going on? You got a hot 3. Let me know what you're thinking.
Okay, I was so not prepared. Okay, so a good little tell nothing. Thank you for having us, James, per usual. I'm going to make this really quick. I did take some notes, but I want to piggyback off what you just said because it ran through my head whenever they were preparing for the show tonight about how Christine filming this show affects her current marriage. Like, if I was her new husband, I would not want to have too much time allotted to speak to her about her previous marriage for too long. And but I also understand this is probably how she makes money, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like how do you, but I've noticed that they've only segmented small amounts of time for them to talk about her previous marriage. But that was one thing I did think about as well. It's like, man, that can't be good. That can't be good. I would be over it already. Like, girl, we got to do something else. And so that leads into what I'm going to say next. I do believe that Kody, with the theatrics that I see him presenting, he's getting a little more theatrical, a little more dramatic, because he knows there's a short shelf life left. The shelf life is about up. It's about done.
Yeah,
the gimmick is over, and I'm pretty sure he's trying to prolong the end. I'm pretty sure everyone else came to him at some point and be like, I'm ready to end this. I'm done. I'm ready to move on. And he just doesn't want to let them go because he doesn't want to let go of the show. That's just my hot take, just a thought. And I've seen a lot of that tonight, especially with him and Robyn, kind of just rewriting history. And one thing I did want to I had thought about, what really irked me was them talking about how he was trying to bring his other relationships up to where him and Robyn were. I thought that was such a disservice to the women.
Yes, disrespectful as hell. Yeah, absolutely.
How can you bring your relationship up? I don't know I was just like, how do you even say that? How does that? And then Robyn to kind of piggyback it, like, girl, don't you sound real? That sounds really kind of crazy for you to. But the fact that he said that the other relationships failed with communication, negotiation, and self-respect, when they were all put in the place where he put them, so how were they able to have those things? It sounded like a whole bunch of fiddle faddle to me.
No, I agree.
And I don't know how much more I can take. I'm like, because I've been trying to hang in there, but I think I wanted to see how they handled things, with losing a child and things of that nature. But I'm just like, y'all aren't giving us anything, especially, I did appreciate the tribute at the beginning, saying we would not be discussing certain topics. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But we're not going to do this. I just want him to take accountability that he's saying that everyone else isn't taking. Because we've seen it. We've seen him not take accountability. Right. So that's all I had to really say about that whole thing. It was a mess. And I still feel like we're not really getting anything. And if Poly Family keeps moving the way they're moving, I think they're going to move Sister Wives right out their spot.
Yeah. I'm reviewing Poly Family. For those who don't know, I'm doing the reviews on Poly Family. I just dropped one the other day and talk about episodes 3 and 4. I got one to talk about 1 and 2, and I got one to talk about 3 and 4. So yeah, I'm telling you, they very well might unseat the king and queen. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because their family is a mess. That's a hot damn mess.
Now that's a mess I can get into. Like, let me, what?
Yeah.
So, but y'all have a good night. I'll be back next week for the part two of the Tell Nothings, and we shall see how this goes. Hopefully, they give us something. Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too. But thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you.
No problem. Y'all have a good night. Bye.
You too. Bye. Awesomeness. Next up, we have Colleen. You got a hot three, Colleen. Thank you for being patient. I appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks, James. This is my first time, so I'm a little nervous, but
No need to be nervous. I'm gentle.
I really wanted to address two things about the narcissism because I spent decades married to one, and I first of all, they're always confused. They never know. They don't remember. They don't know what you're talking about. Like
Right.
literally everything you see, that is them. They never know. They're confused. I don't remember that. But when Janelle said tonight about, I don't think Kody could be that manipulative. I don't think he has it in him. That literally was me in my marriage. And just, I was a caretaker for a family member. So it was a long-term situation. And we had a counselor that came in to help me deal with all the stuff of caretaking, right? So they were in the house watching all the family dynamics with my husband, in-laws, all that. And she would see stuff and I was always making excuses. You don't understand. He doesn't know. He doesn't mean to. Like he doesn't know. He doesn't think like we think. And she would say, "Are you serious? You think he doesn't know what he's doing?" And I was like, no, he really doesn't, because he always played dumb. And I believed it for
Right.
25 years. 25 years, I believed it. And she kept challenging me on it. And a year later, a family member started telling me all the things that had been happening, all the schemes, all the lies. And it blew my mind because if you knew him, you would never in a million years imagine that he could be manipulative, lie, all the things we see Kody doing. So I get Janelle. I get where she's coming from. You just don't think they have it in them.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say this. I think that there's also the point where when they were talking to Christine, and she had said that Robyn and Kody had been planting seeds the whole time, and they went back and asked Mary, like, do you think that Christine or Robyn and Kody were planting seeds? And she said, I don't know. I think that ultimately, if you are successful at planting seeds of influence, the person you're planting seeds with will never know if you're successful. Like that's the whole point. Like it's the inception idea where I'm planting an idea in you, and the whole purpose of that idea is to make you think that it's your idea. Not that I influenced it. So I think that all goes along or goes hand in hand with what you're saying. That part of the manipulation tool is like, no, of course not. He would never, first of all, he would never do that. Right. Second of all, if he did want to do that, I don't think he has the facility to be able to orchestrate such an elaborate plan, because that will require patience that he just doesn't have.
Exactly.
And you don't give that credit. And I think it goes very well with what you're saying. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. It's so true. And the other thing I noticed is last time when Christine said that Robyn had been planting seeds, and Robyn said, that's not true. I don't even know anybody that ever happened to. But then tonight we heard, oh, actually Kody's dad.
Right. She said Kody. She said not only did she say Kody's dad, but it was like even maybe a half a sentence or maybe a half a paragraph, a couple sentences later, she said, yeah, I knew a couple people before, but I don't know if I ever mentioned it.
Yeah, right?
What? You just said you didn't know anybody. You never heard it. What?
That goes back to exactly when you tell the truth, you don't have to remember your lies.
Right.
Kody and Robyn, they never remember their lies because they lie all the time. They can't remember what they said.
Right.
But we remember.
Right, exactly. And there's nothing more frustrating, just as an aside, for me, there's nothing more frustrating than somebody who lies out of reflex. not out of
Yeah.
necessity or desire. You just like you're lying for nothing. It's like you're lying for practice. Like you just
Yes.
practicing a lie. So
They
you just can't tell the truth.
they lie about the stupidest things.
Right.
Like really the stupidest things that you're like, why was that even necessary?
right, right.
That we didn't
right.
even need to do that.
It's one of those lies where if you would have told the truth, I wouldn't have thought anything about it either way.
Right.
But because you lied about it, now I really have an opinion about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I
Yeah.
have an opinion,
Yes.
But I
And
agree. I agree.
I want to say that I agree with you that if that was me, Kody would have been watching from the TV. Because I got like I've lived it and I just have no tolerance for Kody and his all about me games.
Yeah, yeah. Especially with like between him and him making that whole thing about him and how it affected him.
Yeah.
And then knowing how Robyn was, even with regard to the was it the text messages between the kids, and she made that all about her, and
Yeah.
that's why they couldn't talk. So between the two of them, this couple is just going to try to make that whole experience about them. And today is not the day.
Exactly.
Like there's a couple things I just draw like clear lines on. Like funerals is just one of those things, especially for my loved ones. Today is not the day. We're not doing a whole bunch of acting. I don't want to see a bunch of foolishness. Don't run up trying to grab the microphone. Like if you're not, we didn't ask you to speak. Don't sit your ass down. Enjoy the service. Make sure you get yourself a plate at the repast. That's it.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
I agree. And
Yep.
if he, if you're not talking to him when he here and he passed, you'll be catching it on the 10 o'clock news. You'll be watching it with the rest of the sister wife fandom. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yep.
So,
Yep. I agree. Well, thanks so much, James. I really appreciate
All
you
right.
letting me give my take.
no, thank you for calling in. Thanks for being patient. I appreciate you.
Oh, no problem.
Have a
Bye-bye.
great night. Great
You
job.
too. Thanks.
All right. Bye. Awesome. Let's get some, matter of fact, let's get some hearts in the, some hearts on 100s. Let's get some hundreds in the chat for Colleen. I'm going to start it off. Get some hundreds up there. Get us hundos. Been first time caller. Did an awesome job. Next up, we got Janet. Janet, you got a hot 3. What's going on? Let me know what's on your mind.
Hey James, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm excited I get to talk to you.
Awesome.
I have a couple things. I'll try not to go on too long because I know it's 3 minutes thing. But okay, first of all, I don't know their name in the chat who called Robyn shopping, but that was amazing.
Yeah, that was
that that's perfect. That's what I'm gonna call her. And I thought maybe like for Kody, probably somebody has said this before, but because he's always like using this quote where he's like, I guess I'll just be the devil I think I am. Then he's like co-demon. So I just thought that would be a good name for him. But also I think he's getting he's getting like these phrases wrong. It doesn't make sense. I'll be the devil I think I am. I think he means like I'll be the devil they're making me out to be or something. But
Right.
anyway, it's painful to listen to him try to say things. But anyway, so when the episode opened, I was getting up to get a cup of coffee, and I think this was right at the beginning because I physically like recoiled when Robyn was like there and she's talking about Kody, and then he's like, "Oh my god, Robyn was like, oh, like when they did her makeup for the first show, and then they like flashed that picture like from 20 years ago or whatever."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Ugh." I was like, I actually like, oh loud, I'm alone, and I was like, ah, ew. It's like you can't like you can't seem to stop trying to push this like love story on us, and no one cares.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear. You be happy by yourself. That's fine. But like we don't gross. Anyway, that was disgusting. Um so I guess on to like when they were talking with Suki, I thought Suki did a good job. I agree with you completely. I feel like she was a little bit more like when Kody would say to her, "No, no, no, stop, 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 stop." Like it's like, calm down, you sound like a toddler, first of all. It's like he can't handle somebody even asking him things that he is offended by. And I've heard this person who talks about like just trying to like emotional regulation, which we all have trouble with sometimes, but like an important part of that is if you're easily offended by everything, you're not in control of yourself. And
Right.
I still feel like he's in that stage, which I think we all know he's quite immature, but like instead of kind of like backing down when he's like stop, 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 or like would try to shut her down, I'm not going to answer this, and I can't remember his exact wording, but I thought she did a really good job. I still think that what I'm interested to hear from you is I think the way that questions are asked, especially to Robin, but Cody as well, like to all of them, I guess, but especially Cody and Robin, they skirt around what's being asked of them. And I've tried to think of ways that somebody could ask things where, like, they basically like haven't they don't have an out just by saying that's not true or da da da. And I think they need to be very specific with actual phrases that they've said that are on camera. And I know that they do that sometimes, but like it seems like whenever they ask Robin, like, but you do you have a problem with the fact that Mary says it was an abandonment? And she's just like, well, I respect both of them, so I'm not going to say anything. And it's
Mhm.
like, but how can you, I like, how can you not see it was abandonment? Even if Mary did lots of things wrong, I'm not saying like neither, none of them are perfect. Nobody is. But like, he completely stopped visiting her. He never called her. He didn't see her. He didn't do anything. He never checked on her. She was like basically single. He would clearly say in the show, well, I don't see Mary though. And Mary was always like an afterthought. Well, we'll make a campfire for like a fire for everybody and Mary will just be off to the side. Like it was so clear. So I was just wondering like do you think that there's specific questions they could ask to Cody and Robin about just their behavior and Cody's treatment of the wives, which was neglectful, in my opinion, abusive, and also just definitely abandonment, but definitely neglectful. I don't see how they can deny it. Like, can you think of like things they could ask where, like, in my opinion, it seems like it would have to be specific things that they could quote them on? But I'm just wondering what you thought about that.
Well, I think that ultimately they could ask anything, and what it'll come down to is Cody and Robin's willingness to answer the question. And I
Hmm.
think that if the question is too poignant or it was too pointed, they're always going to resist it, and they're always going to try to find a way to either uh if they can't bullshit their way out of it, they can't lie their way out of it, they're going to try to outrage their way out of it. You
Yeah,
know, like, oh my, I can't believe you would even ask me a question like that. Like, so
that's very
you'll have a
Cody.
lot of that theatrics.
Hmm.
And I
A lot
think
of
that
theater.
that's just how they were accustomed to doing it for so many years. And to be
Yeah.
honest with you, I think that a lot of their behavior and their resistance to a lot of the questioning and the questions is a direct result of the previous producers of the show and how
Mhm.
they basically handled the family, particularly Robin and Cody, with kid gloves and allowed them to act like spoiled brats. So
Yep.
now the new production team has to go in, they have to retrain them. But to
Yeah.
be honest with you, I don't know if there's enough track left on the road for them to be able to figure out how they're going to get them back on act right before
Yeah.
the series ends. Like the series is
Yeah.
going to come to a close long before they learn how to do an interview.
Yeah, you definitely don't act right. I agree with you. Like it's kind of hard to like just sit there and listen to people who basically like sometimes people my experience with people in life too is just if people who have a lot of privilege a lot of times don't want to be told that. And that's what
Mm,
makes me think of like Robin has there's a huge power imbalance and in my opinion always has been ever since she came into the family between her and the other wives. That power imbalance comes from the fact that Cody is in love with her and favors her and like they always try to say well like they kind of skirt those questions that like go that way. Well, no. They like Robin would be no. Like he wasn't telling them that though and I didn't know that like they didn't wasn't in love with them and I didn't know and I'm confused and when you guys were talking about like narcissism and stuff like that and they're always confused. I don't know what you mean
yeah,
like
yeah.
but I think that it's interesting that like they acknowledge that there's clearly a power imbalance from the fact he says he was only in love with Robin. He had never felt like that before. It's clearly demonstrated, obviously, by the way he treats like her children versus the other children, but also just the fact that like bitch, you're living in a mansion and you're the only wife that has never, in my opinion, from what I've seen, has never contributed one thing financially to the family. She's the only one that hasn't. And I don't count the my sister wife's shit because I think that that like drained them of money. So I might be wrong about that. But overall, like you're living in a mansion. And
Mm.
you are the only one that has not contributed financially. You have a nanny. Nobody else ever had that for 2 children. And you don't have a job. Like, it's the favoritism, like, and I know I always come back to that, and I promise I'm almost done. I'm not gonna keep going too long, but like, it's crazy to me that they won't admit, like, they're admitting that he was only in love with her now, but they're still like unwilling to admit that that creates a power differential, power imbalance for sure. And he was treating her much better because she's always like, well, he responds, like, the amount of affection he gives is dependent on how the behavior of the wives. And it's like, but that's not true though, Robin, because his behavior towards you, it's reciprocity. He's in
Mm.
love with you. He's going to treat you differently than people he's not in love with, that he now sees basically as a burden. He didn't admit that for many years, but like kept around probably because of like the money of the show and didn't want to like not have like the show. But like, not acknowledging that is crazy to me. It's like people who won't acknowledge their privilege, and it's like, you just acknowledge it. You live in a mansion. You live in a mansion, and it wasn't just that you were behaving and you kept sweet because you agree with that. That's fine, but you kept sweet, but he kept sweet with you, and he was not sweet to the other ones, and he wasn't. And
Right.
it's clear, and it's just so frustrating. And it's like they just need to like take the next step and acknowledge it, which they won't. But it's gross. That's why everybody's grossed out by the relationship. They're grossed out by his behavior, and just Robin is always confused. Will never understand. No, no, I don't think that happened, and it's frustrating to watch. But yeah.
No, I get it. I get it. But thank you very much.
Thank you,
Point
James.
made, point taken.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for calling in.
Thanks, James. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Excellent points. And the one thing I would say about like the favorites, and then we have our last caller. But the one thing I will say about the favorite thing that she brought up, which I think was an excellent point Janet brought up, was it's easy. Like when you talk about privilege, when you're a person who has experienced this privilege, you probably don't recognize the privilege. You might even see your privileges. I don't understand why everybody's so upset because I'm being treated just like everybody else. But the truth of the matter is, your privilege is such that you couldn't handle being treated like everybody else. There's no way in the world Robin would have been if Robin was being treated anywhere near what the OG3 was being treated like. She would have been gone a long time ago. She wouldn't have stood there and like she didn't have like because even with the OG3, they had emotional, financial, physical investments. They had kids with them. Like they had like 13 kids with this dude before Robin even came into the family. So, or at least 12 kids before Robin came into the family. Got the 13th child when Robin came into the family. There's no way in the world they would have sat there and she would have sat there with the little bit of investment she had 2 years in. She has her own 3 kids, and Kody was treating them equal and even, and he was treating her just like he was treating them. She would have never made it. Saul would not exist. Ari wouldn't exist because she would have been left. It is easy to talk all that. Oh, I don't understand why you guys can't pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. When your bills are paid, you got food on your table, you got a roof over your head. And like Janet mentioned, you got a mansion roof over your head. So there's that. But let me just do one thing before we bring Alexandra up. Sorry, guys. I gotta just make sure I stay on top of this. We got a super chat from Steam Frog 99 super chat holding out for Kody and Robyn bank to bust. So Steam Frog, like, I ain't going nowhere until the money is broke and spent and gone. And the funny thing is, Steam Frog, I agree with you because quiet is kept. I think I've held this out for a long time, long time. With Bravo and not the sister wives, Bravo and the housewives, I think that when they hired them, they had an accountant go through their stuff and say, yo, they want to play rich, but they're about to go broke. I'm looking at their credit card receipts, their bills, their income, everything coming in. They got so much more money going out than coming in. They're about to lose their house. So you need to put them on this season. And then by next season, we're going to have them stars of the show getting evicted from their homes or fall into financial distress. And that'll be a storyline in and of itself. And I think that with the two of them, I wouldn't be surprised if TLC is doing the same thing to Kody and Robyn. But let me give Steam Frog a little something. Then next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Alexandra PF. What's going on, Alexandra? You got a hot 3 minutes.
I'll try to keep to that. How are you?
Oh, how are you?
Good. I'm doing well. I was gonna say, that whole pick yourself up by your bootstraps. It's like the OG3. They don't have no boots,
Yeah. Right.
let alone bootstraps. What are they supposed to pull up? So, couple quick things. I think we all have to remember these people lie to us constantly, and from the book, Mary was like, "Oh, I give my kid fresh fruits and vegetables," whereas the other moms like processed foods. And then we see in scene 1, she gives her daughter a granola bar for breakfast. Okay, like they are lying to us from the jump, and you just have to be smart enough to see it, right?
Right.
So another thing is that Steam Frog mentioned this in the comments, and I think it's so wise that I just have to bring it up. So he was mentioning about why Kody and Robyn are laying it on so thick about the being so, hot to trot for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that perhaps it's because they're trying to compete with Christine and David's love storyline.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense why they're doing it now all of a sudden after so long. 12 years into their love story.
Actually, real quick, I'm gonna pause real quick. What's funny to me is that the ironic part about it is that for years, Robyn and Kody, and this is like kind of, I always like this little turn of tricks, but Robyn and Kody have complained that you guys are always complaining what I have and the favor that Kody shows Robyn and how you're jealous of that and you shouldn't compare, et cetera, et cetera. You should judge your relationship based on our relationship and stop looking at my relationship with Robyn. That was like the big thing they were saying. And even like the springboarding off what you just said, they're upset because the audience is responding positively to Christine and David's relationship. The fact that they show so much affection, the fact that they do like this flirtation thing on screen, like with Christine, like she literally did a lap dance for David. And you know what I mean? And Kody, he's like fake licking a picture. Everybody's like, oh, that's disgusting. He's like, I don't understand. You guys like it when they do it, but you don't like it when I do it. And that, Kody, I would say, don't compare our relationship to what's going on with me and Christine. You need to worry about your relationship with the audience. Don't worry about how we feel about Christine, sir.
Yeah. Don't compare your orange to our apple.
Right, exactly. Their shoes tight as hell when it's on the other foot, ain't it?
Yeah. You don't like that. Oh man, these people. And one thing I really did not like was the way Kody was bullying Suki during the conversation. And other people may not see it that way, but I definitely did, because he was not letting her get in a question edgewise. He just kept talking over her and kept going to his point. And you could see she's trying to interrupt him and ask questions or to follow up. But he's like, no, this is my agenda and I'm going to run it. And, in that kind of a situation, you got to, like for Suki, she's doing the best she can, especially when this guy's coming at her and bullying her. And, and again, if you watch the show and listen to what these people are actually saying, like Mary has said something about she doesn't have to deal with his tantrums anymore. And the tone in Kody's voice at the boat regatta thing when he called Christina crybaby, like it was full of venom, So I think when you look at things and understand that they know that they're in front of cameras, so they're going to tone it down a bit. But when you see those little breadcrumbs all throughout, I definitely see him as a major bully and a lot worse in person. So that to me really stuck out today when I was seeing him.
No, I agree with that. In fact, I think I'm gonna try to squeeze a video out about that very subject, because I
All
did
right.
notice that as well.
Yeah, no, he's just and I think to a certain extent he would be that way with men too, as long as it's not going with his narrative. Like if it's if they're trying to say something that he's not agreeing with. But I think it is worse towards women because, in their religion, men are, they know all, and women are, are not viewed as highly. So I think that's part of it. But I think he would also do that to a man. I think he's just a bully all around. I mean, he did it to his sons. He bullied them. So, I don't think it's just a gender thing, but I think it does show, it's highlighted more when there is a female on the other end of the dynamic.
Right. Well, I think
So,
that there's I think he also operates on power dynamics.
mm-hmm,
So, like the truth of the matter is that anytime Cody's ever been on screen with a man who is equal to his stature, social standing, or whatever the case may be,
mm-hmm.
he is almost subservient to that man.
Yeah,
Like, and that's been every time I've seen him on screen with another guy. Like,
yeah,
even to the point where he had like the one friend from high school
yeah,
was telling him he needs to leave 3 of his wives.
yeah, Ken, yeah,
Yeah. And it kind
yeah,
of and Cody didn't have anything to say.
yeah,
Look, he talked a lot of trash when Ken wasn't around, but he didn't say anything
yeah,
to Ken's face. And I
yeah,
think that's where people say that he won't talk to a man.
yeah,
I can see a situation where if Cody thinks that he has some type of advantage on you, because
mm-hmm,
say you work for a puddle jumper or whatever the hell, the
yeah,
production company, and he thinks that he has pull with the production company, then yeah, he's gonna talk shit to you. But
yeah,
if he's talking to somebody who he thinks, like, if I was the contract I was going to say earlier, like, guys, I don't think I could have did this tell all, because
mm-hmm,
one, you're not going to sit there and try to talk over me. One of us going to talk
yeah,
at a time. Two, I'm going to give you space to make your points, but you're
mm-hmm,
going to allow me to ask the questions, or
yeah,
you're going to allow me to give a follow up to a question that I have. You say something, I want to follow up on that question, and you're
yeah,
not going to push me into a direction that I don't want to go into.
yeah,
And I think that that's the very subtle difference. And if I'm in a position where, like, I guess being a YouTuber but not working for them, I
mm-hmm,
can take that position. Whereas if they're paying my bills and I got a new mortgage, maybe I would be in a situation where, if Cody said something, I don't want to upset him because I don't want to lose the gig. Like, then he might be a little more aggressive. But I don't see him being aggressive with somebody who's on this level.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, another thing, when I'm watching the scenes with shopping, uh,
Oh,
um, in previous Tell Nothings, she was able to say, like, I'm thinking of the interaction where she was like, "Oh, Cody's picking fights with me," and she's like, "About what? Stupid things." And then, like, Suki's trying to get more information, and she's just not. Sobin's not, giving her any more clarity. So I'm hoping, because I saw her today trying to drill down a bit more with Sobin, but I don't know if we're gonna get much more of it, because she comes in with her own agenda of what she's gonna say, and she has her God protecting her,
mm,
because liars, they need protection, because like Mary was saying, I have the truth, so I don't have to worry.
right.
Whereas they're all anxious going into this, and the show's playing this dramatic music when they're going into the tell-all. Oh boy, what a roller coaster. So those were my points. I guess we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah. But thank you so much for calling in. I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
thanks for hearing me out.
No worries. Thank you.
All right,
All right.
bye.
Bye. Alexandra PF. I'm going to squeeze in one more phone call if you guys don't mind. JJ Spell, what's going on? I noticed you popped in.
Hi,
Hey.
hopefully you can hear me.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. I just wanted to kind of give one or two points, I guess. One, I feel like Baldy Bohangles is definitely a narcissist. And
Mm,
I'm going to say it like that because when you call someone a narcissist, it's like calling them an asshole. It is a descriptor. It is not actually a clinical diagnosis in the DSM-5.
right.
So you can call someone a narcissist and it not be clinical. You don't have to qualify it with, I'm not diagnosing them, because narcissistic personality disorder is the actual diagnosis.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
so he reminds me so much of my father. And in this tell all, I got so triggered by this man, with how he talks about the women. It's just the sense of entitlement and revisionist history that even Robyn will admit to. And if Robyn, or Robyn, whatever we're calling her, if she even admits to it, that it
Right.
is obvious. She can't even step back from that. So I feel like he just, sometimes I wonder if he watches back these episodes, because he can't think that he is coming off in a positive manner. And I think he tries. That's the thing, is he actually tries to look better. And he starts out trying to look better, and that's why I say he has that narcissistic personality, because he's very charming, but he also has the where he's trying to come off as, evolved, and saying like, oh well, I see where Mary's coming from, or I see where Janelle's coming from. But when Suki hits him where it hurts and he gets that injury, you see how he pops off. And I just feel like that that attitude is just so hard to watch. I agree with someone earlier that said they don't know if they can continue to watch this, and that's how I feel. It's very hard for me to continue and want to watch this, because of how his personality just comes off as so triggering to anyone who has had to live with someone like that. So anyone who's had that experience, you absolutely know. And I know the women don't want to come out and say that they were abused, or maybe it feels like they don't really want to go that far, but it's absolutely, they were abused. And if they wanted to, and they wanted to feel empowered to say something like that, I think a lot of people would support them because of how he's treated them.
Right. Right. And I think, and to be honest with you, I think that is a fair point. That in some cases, when people suffer from mistreatment, like they've been abused, or something traumatic has happened to them, there can be an inclination or a reflex where they try to take control of that situation by denying that it ever happened, or they convince themselves that, if I admit that I was being mistreated or abused, then I become one of those type of people. And I'm not one of those type of people, because
Mm-hmm.
there's a misconception that in order for you to be mistreated or abused or mistreated in a relationship, that somehow you're weak, or you allowed it to happen, or whatever the case may be. And that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like, if I go out, if I go down to the corner store, or I go into the neighboring city or into the big city, and I go to, I'm walking down the street and I get robbed, like I didn't ask for that to happen. That's not something. It's not my fault I got robbed. It's it's whoever robbed me is robbed me. I'm the victim of a crime.
Mm-hmm.
But in some of these cases, especially when it comes to like domestic situations and things of that nature, there seems to be a push, rightly or wrongly, for people who have been victimized to deny their victimhood in that situation. And instead of saying like, yeah, I was mistreated, they say, yeah, I'm strong, so that couldn't have happened to me. You understand what I mean? So I agree with you that they very well may have a story to tell, but they don't want to tell the story because they're afraid it'll make them look weak, or make them look
Yeah.
like they're not really as strong. But strength is not avoiding situations. Strength in many cases is surviving things.
Mm-hmm.
That's where true strength is, surviving it, and recognizing it and calling it for what it is. And so don't ever feel like you have to be quiet about something happening to you. And that's just, not you
Yeah.
per se, but I'm just saying, like, if somebody's watching it, don't ever feel like you have to hide that back, or there's some kind of shame or embarrassment that you should carry. If anybody should be ashamed, it should be the people who've mistreated you in the past. They should be the ones who are ashamed. That's their shame to bear, and that's their burden to carry. It's not yours. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take your time.
No, that I love that you say that though, especially like coming from a man. That's just really nice because my dad was, obviously he reminds me a lot of, Baldy Bahangles. And I think that a lot of times the women don't even, I think it's more than, they don't want to look weak. I also think that they just don't recognize, because of the culture that they came from, they don't recognize that it's abuse. Like they don't think that that's enough. The verbal, the psychological, the financial abuse is a big thing. Like I can count on, one hand how many times my dad or I saw him physically abuse my mother. But after 30 years of marriage, he unalived her and himself. So it's like, you never know what's happening in someone's house, and it like people don't think that just that psychological is enough, and it absolutely is. And that's my message to people, that I always tell people, like, look, even if your husband, wife, whomever is just being like controlling, that's enough. That's enough. Like you do not have to deal with that. That is never okay. And if you talk to them about it and they don't recognize it, it's perfectly fine for you to leave. But I also get why people don't leave, because in the circumstance with my mom, like she was very financially dependent on my dad, and she was from a very religious background where you don't get divorced. And I think she had a lot of feelings about that, because her parents actually did get divorced, ironically. But I think she had a lot of like feelings about the failure of a marriage, that it like felt like it was on her. And that's why it was really interesting when they were talking about like Kody failed, and he did.
Right.
Let's be real, he failed. But then Robyn was trying to say, oh, we all failed. Girl, bye. You failed, Kody failed, but it does not always take two. You could be the perfect person. My mother was the trad wife. She was the model trad wife. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. If someone is abusive, they're going to be abusive, no matter how much you placate them. So my other message is, Robyn, you think that you are manipulating this man, but it may come to a point where he's tired of it, and your life may be in danger. And I am really honestly scared for her, because that may, I don't wish that on her, of course. No one. I don't care how manipulative she is. I would never wish that on someone. But I just need her to understand, like, look, you might want to leave. Now is the time. Go ahead and leave, please.
Right. Well, because the one thing I would say about situations like that is that, like, there was a time in my younger years, my younger days, when I was a younger man's shoes. Like, you have I know a few guys who were a little, they were a little off kilter. Like, some would call them colloquially crazy. They're crazy dudes. And they're fun. Like, the thing with hanging out with certain people who are very vibrant or manic in a way, they're a lot of fun to be around, but it can turn quick. And if you're in that friend group, if you watch your friend having a good time and then he flip and he jump on one of your friends, and then another time you guys are all out having a good time, then he flip and he jump on another one of your friends, and you see that 2-3 times, you realize in that group, it's only a matter of time before we're going to be out having a good time and it's my turn. And I think that with that, you watch how he acts, you watch how he treated these other ladies, and you feel like you're different because he never did it to you, or he never talked to you that way. And it must have been because of how they treated him, because you're different. But what you don't recognize is that once those ladies are gone, once those distractions are no longer present, that's when he has nothing to do but focus on you. So a lot of those ill feelings, those insecurities, those things that are within him, which cause him to act a certain way, once they start bubbling up, he doesn't have any other outlet but you. And that's where I could go along with what you're saying, that if this is a situation which is occurring and Robyn is sitting there watching this happen to these other women, I would say to her, if I was her friend, you are not safe. You are not okay. It is not safe to go back in the water, old Jaws thing. It is not safe to go back in the water, girlfriend. Okay.
Yes.
There's lifeboats out there floating around with jaw marks in them, with teeth marks in them, and you next. Because all it takes is for him, like, it's going to happen when you don't see it coming. The funny thing is, and it's funny that you say that, and I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to slander the man because I can't prove it one way or another. But I will say that it's kind of funny that if you listen to what Robyn was saying after the breakups had happened and the things she was saying, she had always kind of hinted that he was mistreating her.
Yes.
You understand what I mean? Like she
Absolutely.
hinted that. Like, it's not even me. You can go back through the tapes. Season 16, 17, and 18, when the other ladies left, the way he's talking to me and treating me, the things he's doing, he's not who he was. Yeah, because he was using these other women as outlets. So I'm not saying that this is what's going on. I'm just saying that these are things that have been said and presented to the audience.
Yeah, I think she's very real about it. I mean, I know some people think it's like her trying to get a way out, like to set up her way out, which maybe it is too, but I think she is being very honest with what she's saying, and that's why I'm afraid for her. But all I can say is to warn her. I don't know if she watches your lives, but if she does, Robyn, please
watch your back, Jack.
Sign.
Yeah, and all money ain't good money. And you get nice stuff being around them, and like you kind of hinted at earlier, sometimes the financial trappings are just that, trappings. Because just because he have a nice car and he put you in a nice house, that's what my mom used to say. We lived near some really nice houses and stuff, and he said, you drive by some of these houses, you look at that front door, like, that's a beautiful house, but you don't know what's going on behind that door. You don't know what kind of hell that family is catching, behind them closed doors. Like, beautiful manicured lawns, and the homes are beautiful and big and everything. You don't know what's going on behind them doors. So, nice house or not, it is what it is.
Yes, absolutely.
But I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much for your contribution. And let's get some hearts in the chat for JJ Spell and her family. My condolences on your loss, as far as your mom and everything, your family situation. That's a hard situation. It's a hard situation.
Thank you.
But I appreciate you calling in. And thanks for sharing your story, because I think that is something that also, like, even the idea of, like, people blaming themselves and things like that, that's something that we really should address, just because it is important to express to people. Like, one of the heartbreaking things is when you find out a friend of yours has been the victim of someone's abuse, who should have been charged, who is charged with the duty and responsibility of not only their happiness but their protection, and you find out they're violating them in that way, and then the embarrassment that the person who is the victim of that crime, because that's what pardon my French, that's what that is. It's a crime. So you're the victim of a crime. And the fact that you feel embarrassed about being a victim of a crime only goes further to victimize you. And so I think that we have to kind of shatter that stigmatization as well. So I appreciate that. Right. But thank you very much, JJ. Talk to you later.
All right.
All
Bye.
right. Good night. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. That was an awesome phone call. Yeah, let's get some hearts in the chat for JJ. Appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your story and your perspective. Because that is something we don't really talk about because so much is put on Robyn as far as being like a manipulative person. And I don't think that anybody is trying to say that she isn't. But at the same time, if she finds herself in a bad situation, you gotta find a way to get yourself out. Gotta find a way to get yourself out, because it's not worth it. And especially when you got children. Especially when you got children. You know. Yeah. But that was kind of a deep call. But yeah, I appreciate everybody calling in. Before we go, I gotta do some housekeeping. Housekeeping. We have Steve Frog. Oh, we already got that with the holding out for Kody and Robyn's bank the bus. Then we had Addie's reality. Okay. It looks like it might be a channel. Okay, maybe check that out. Narcissism. Narcissists makes themselves known. We see it. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. I'll check her channel out. Thank you for the super chat. And then we had unlimited lipsticks. Janet, $13.99 super chat. Shopping. Shopping. She been shopping. Shopping. She wanna shopping with you. She shopping. And I hope you like shopping too. Shopping and shopping and shopping and shopping. Shopping salty because the other wives no longer want anything to do with Kody. Her power is diminished because she is no longer the best wife. She's the only wife. This is so true. It's hard to be the best. It's hard to be number one when you're the only one racing. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm the winner. You running by yourself. You're running against yourself. And truth be told, there's a possibility because you don't have nobody to run down. You don't have nobody to talk about. You don't have nobody to backstab. He might actually start looking at you and see what it is you're not doing. And the crazy part is that we sit here and talk about like how Robyn is, Kody's different. That might also be part of why she's saying he's different. Is because he's noticing all the stuff she ain't doing. And he's probably making it known all the stuff that she's not doing and all the stuff he expects her to do and how he expects her to act and what he needs her to do to fall in line and be worthy of his relationship. And she's probably catching all that. Because the funny thing is that he was told that he did nothing wrong. He told himself he did nothing wrong. And Robyn, by the nature of her relationship with him, told him consistently, no matter how he treated them women, you ain't doing nothing wrong. Everything you do is right. You know exactly what you're doing. You the boss, you the king. You know exactly what it is you're doing. You go, boy. And now you're the only one left. You can't tell him that he's making a mistake. So when he talk rough and wrong to you, you try to tell him, you shouldn't talk to a lady like that. Well, that's exactly what I said to Janelle, Mary, and Christine. You said it was okay. You said I had every right to express myself. See, that shoe is tight as hell on the other foot. That's all I'm going to say on that front. So, yeah, I agree with you, Janet. Let me get a little something. Oh, man. Oh, wow. All right, Brandy, I see you. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out with a play. I know I was planning on trying to rock this out for 2 hours, but per usual, we went a little longer than we normally do. But that's okay because we had some really good conversations, some really good, cool folks call in, leave some messages and everything, and I appreciate you guys. But before we go, let me give a big shout out to Inhalation Aerosols. with Super Chat, Brittany Not Brittany. YouTube is my time machine. We had Steam Frog, Ty, that's my shoe. Raiders Ma up in the house. Unlimited lipstick. Janet. Lizzie B, of course, gifted some memberships. We also have some unlimited lipstick. Joined tonight. She's a new member, so thank you and welcome. Then we have Raspberry, and I know I am KM Gilbertson. I haven't seen KM in a little bit, so want to give a special shout out to KM Gilbertson. And let's see, Addie's Reality. We're gonna check that out. We gotta check that site. And that's that. Oh, just so you guys know, tomorrow for the general membership, or for everybody, not general membership, but for everybody, we have this particular video, which is my Monday motivation video: fight back, fight forward versus fighting forward. That was off of a Ted Lasso quote. That's a show that was on Apple TV. Soccer show. It's actually pretty good. But I recently came across that quote again, refresh my memory on it. So I wanted to do a Monday motivation about it, talking about my thoughts as far as that was concerned. And I will be dropping a Monday motivation for the members, which will be available to everybody later on this week. I'll be dropping that soon too. I just got to shoot it and everything else. But I'm actually really excited about it, and I'll talk more about it as the week goes on to let everybody know. But make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notification. That way you'll get notified not only when I drop sister wife content, but poly family, 90 Day Fiance. They got a new 90 Day, y'all. And that thing looked like a dumpster fire that ran through a train wreck that's at the bottom of a ditch. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. So we're definitely talking about that. And got some other shows. Love After Lockup. I have the season finale for that show that I have to talk about. And I'm going to do Mormon Lives for Mormon Wives. So we got a lot of stuff that we got to do. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Give me that HBO special. Hit that like button. Let brother know that you like what I'm doing. Hopefully you like what I'm doing. But thank you guys so much. I want to give a huge shout out to our mega mods, Brittany Not Brittany, Caramel Cuties, and of course, Lizzie B up in the house. Thank you guys so much. And let me give everybody who called in, as well as the mega mods, the cool ass chat. We had a ball tonight. Or at least I hope we had a ball. I know I had a lot of fun. And I'm just drinking my big ass cup of water. So, oh, there it is. Boom, boom. Why is this not showing up? Okay, I'll just have one. And let me give you guys a little something. All right. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. Appreciate you. That's my take. Make sure you tune in next week, because next week is probably even going to be more crazy, because I saw some of the previews. It looks super sick. So we're going to be talking about it. I might even come in hotter than next week. I don't know. I might have to get off this water if it keeps going the way it's going. So we shall see. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. That's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality. And I'm living life right like I could just die any minute. Go for a ride down the side.